should know. I have never really liked you at all. I cannot hide it anymore. I've been thinking about the future, trying to forget about the past. So many ways that I could change for the better.
This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I don't know why I repeated myself twice, but hello and thank you for being here. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Mr. Speculating just said he needs a woman that brings something to the table. He said, I'm a rock quarry survivor. What's the acronym? IYKYK. Mustang, good to see you. Hey, Abellis, good to see you. Good to see you. Kelly, good to see you. I don't know who that chick is on the thumbnail, but whoa. Oh my lord, we're going to talk about it today. I'm going to try to do a kind of a brief on the case. It's real bad though. It's real triggering. Peaches, good to see you. For mental health, I need to take a break from today. I wanted to stop in and let y'all know you are loved, you are important, and the world is truly better. The world is truly a better place with you in it. Look at me stumbling over my words. That's God. Thank you, Peaches, for letting us know, and I definitely get it. Oh, the haunted train didn't get to pick Bella Rose up last night. Is Bella Rose here? Let me I'm gonna star that and we'll come back to it. Curious Christine, good to see you. Rosie, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Kelly, Tony, happy Friday. Snarky Pants, Native Girl, happy Friday. Curious Christine and Abellis, my loves, good to see you. Southern Cats, good to see you. Mustang, thank you for being here. Good to see you. One sunny day, and Edith, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Stephanie, good to see you. Shelby, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I was on time. I was late last night, y'all. Judy Jen, thank you so much for being here. I don't know if I said that. Let me scroll. Cindy from sunny South Florida, thank you for being here. Good to see you. Amber, good to see you. Becky P, good to see you. Anders, good to see you. Bella Rose, good to see you. Thank you for joining Speculation Station. If y'all don't mind, hit the thumbs up. Let me see. Did I miss anybody? Twinkle Twinkle, baby. Indie Girl, good to see you. Cara Bubara, good to see you. Thank you for being here. If I missed you, let me know and I'll shout you out. So I started for a reason. Bella Rose became a member last night. Thank you so much for that, Bella Rose. That is amazing. I hope you enjoyed the new videos that you have access to. I want to thank you for becoming a member of Speculation Station, and I will come pick you up with the haunted train. Thank you so much, Bella Rose. I greatly appreciate that. I love that on a train. Thank you so much, Bella Rose, Julie, Miss King of Anything, and Abraham. It's good to see y'all. Thank you for being here. Hey, Anna. Good to see you, and thank you for being here. I'm so glad y'all are here. Happy Friday. I hope y'all enjoy the start of your weekend. I hope y'all have a great weekend. There is so much going on in all of the channels on YouTube today and over the past couple of days. It is absolutely insane. Hey, everybody coming in, said Indie Girl. Indie Girl, it's good to see you. How are you doing? How you doing? Rosie said, let's smash the like button. Better place to be at. I know, I thought that was so sweet. What a nice thing to say. How very sweet and kind of her to say that. And okay. I'm gonna get into it. Hey, Anna, my love. Thank you again for being here. You shared in Discord? Okay, I'll check it. I'm going to go ahead and get into this because it's a 3-hour interview. So, what we are talking about today is Michele Martens' plea deal interview. Okay. In this case, there were 3 people: Jessica Kelly, Fabian Gonzalez, and Michele Martens. The victim in the case was Victoria Martens, who was 10 years old, and she was homicided on her 10th birthday after being essayed And after she was essayed, homicided, and then decapitated in the bathtub in an apartment in New Mexico. Um, I want to kind of go to the first video and see if that gives us a little bit of a breakdown. Yeah, we'll watch the first narrative from the police, and then we will watch the part of Michele Martens' interview. Now, this case is rather popular because of what Michele Martens kind of confessed to. It was later found out that it was a false confession. That's why this plea deal that we're going to listen to today is so important, because it's allegedly what actually happened. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this first police narrative at the very least, to kind of let you know what happened that night, and then I'll talk about the time that everybody got for this and why the case still remains a little bit unsolved to this day. Hold on.
Was secured in my patrol vehicle. I made get information on a case out of New Mexico. This is the story of Victoria Martens. We're going to start with two police narratives that I did, and I will be putting out the interrogation. Basically, I want to get to the bottom of this case because I don't
It's very
understand
upsetting.
exactly what
Yep.
happened, who was responsible, and why the mother only got 12 years.
Okay, so I said it there. The mother only gets 12 years. Her daughter on her 10th birthday was essayed, homicided, and decapitated and then set on fire. I forgot about that part, Dandy. Good to see you in the bathtub. The police are called. Jessica Kelly is the main perpetrator, and I think she's still in prison. I will locate the charges everybody got, but Michele Martens, as you will hear in a few minutes, is going to admit to meeting men on Plenty of Fish, letting them come into her apartment specifically to seek out Victoria and do horrible things to Victoria while she watched and took joy in her daughter's horrific abuse. That's what she admits to in that interrogation is what made everybody say, "Whoa, what the hell's going on here?" And then you find out that she only got 12 years and you're really like, "Whoa, what the hell's going on here?" But Michelle is not they they say she's not of the right cognitive ability to understand that she's a people pleaser, okay? And that she said these things because she thought that's what the cops wanted to hear. But then you find out she has a college degree. So somebody please make it make sense. It still doesn't. Lori Ann, good to see you. Paloa's mom, good to see you. A lot, a lot, a lot of math, a lot of math. She is out of prison. I thought she might be. Okay, so this is the first police narrative that I recorded. So it'll, like I said, give us an idea of what happened.
If you're curious, as am I, to find out what happened, let's go through these together as I start dropping the information that I obtained. On August 24th, 2016, around 4:35, officers were dispatched to 4701 Irving Boulevard Northwest, number 808 and number 407, in reference to a disturbance. The anonymous caller told 911 operators that she lives in apartment number 407. She said her female and male neighbors from apartment number 808 had come to her home with injuries and told her they were attacked by their friend. I arrived on scene with Officer Inyert, and we approached apartment number 407 to speak with the caller and other subjects. The door was answered, the female caller, and she pointed me to a male and a female just inside her front door. The male had a black eye, and the female had a large cut to her forehead. I then spoke to the female with the cut, who appeared afraid and was shaking. She stated that within the last few minutes she was awoken by her friend Jessica. She said that Jessica had struck her in the head with an iron, but did not elaborate on what an iron was. Jessica then asked her, "Do you believe in God?" and struck her several more times. The male subject with a black eye nodded in agreement as the female spoke, and he said that Jessica was still inside of their apartment, number 808, with their 10-year-old daughter. At this point, Officer Inyart and myself went to apartment number 808. As I approached the apartment, I walked up a flight of stairs on the outside. I got to the top of the stairs and observed a heavyset white female had opened the front door to apartment number 808. She was wearing a blue shirt and black pants. When this female opened the door, I announced that we were the police.
The female went inside the door, closed it, and I heard a clicking sound consistent with the door locking. I ran to the door and tried to open it. The door opened a few inches, but was held by a locking latch about 6 feet high on the other side. I then made announcements into the small opening that we were the police and called for Jessica to come and open the front door. While I continued to make announcements, I heard someone from the parking lot below yell, quote, "That's her!" unquote. I looked into the parking lot and observed the same white female who I saw open the front door. She was walking with a limp from around the north side of this apartment building. Officer Landavazo was on scene in the parking lot at this time. I told him to detain the female in the blue shirt. When he approached the female and tried to put her in handcuffs, she pulled away and yelled at him. I then went to help Officer Landavazo. He
So, yeah, Cindy, you're right. She did confess to trying to commit the homicide of both of them. She said Fabian, even though it was her cousin, was fucked up and she wanted to get rid of him anyway. And her reason for trying to kill Michelle was if she could watch all that happen to her daughter and not fight for her daughter, then she deserved to die too because she was going to snitch on her for what she did. But we're going to break all that down. I'm going to let this play and we'll continue to break it down.
and Officer Inyart held the female's arms behind her back, and I placed her into handcuffs.
Come here. Come here. Come here.
I didn't do nothing.
Come here.
That's Jessica Kelly speaking to police in August 2016. There's some that went down. No, I didn't do
Hey,
nothing.
stop.
In the video, police confront Kelly, who is limping after jumping off a balcony.
Why'd you lock the door?
Somebody just started a fire and went over the balcony, dude. APD officers were there initially that night after a call
Hey,
about
Miss
a
Rosie.
fire at the apartment where Victoria Martens lived with her mother, Michelle, and her mother's boyfriend, Fabian Gonzalez.
What were you fighting about?
She woke up and asked where her daughter was.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where she's at, dude.
Okay. No, we got her. She's in another apartment.
Huh?
Did you hit her? Did you hit her?
Huh?
Did you hit somebody?
She hit me and I hit her back. As one officer talks to Kelly to get her side of the story, a couple of other officers go into the apartment, not knowing what they'll find. When they finally come out, their demeanor is changed. They seem upset.
Put her in your car, man. You're gonna walk.
Broken. I just got thrown off the balcony.
You didn't get thrown off. You jumped off. I saw you close the door.
The officers then get a call from dispatch.
Can you advise what we're looking at here? Male, female, close reading?
Walk.
No.
Female 10.
No. Before they reach the officer's car, Kelly tells them there was another person with her in the apartment.
Who else was in the apartment with you?
Another guy.
Where's the other guy?
He took off. He started trying to wipe blood up. And I started panicking.
Hey, Gigi, good to
Where's
see
the
you.
other guy?
I don't know his name. They call him Lacoste.
Officers on scene still had not found the 10-year-old female, and I was worried about her safety. At this time, I heard the fire alarm sounding from apartment number 808. I ran to the apartment with Officer Inyart, and the door was still locked. Fearing for the safety of the female child, who still may be inside the apartment, I used my feet to kick open the door and made entry into the apartment. I saw a kitchen to the immediate forward from the doorway. I then made my way to the right again and into a large bedroom. I did not see anyone in that large bedroom area. I then made my way into the bathroom attached to the large bedroom and did not see anyone inside. I then went back into the living room and went to a hallway opposite of the large bedroom. I went to the left and into a small bedroom. I did not see anyone inside of this room. I then went into the bathroom next to this bedroom. Once inside the bathroom, I observed a female child wrapped in a blanket and on fire while lying in the bathtub. I asked Officer Inyart if he had a fire extinguisher in his car. I then went to the living room and found a blanket on the floor. I went back to the bathroom and I used my hands wrapped with the blanket to put out the fire surrounding the female.
So I know this is really low, so I'll try not to scream in your ears. Orange Rose, good to see you, love. If this case is too hard for you to hear, I get it 100%. Thank you for coming in and saying hello.
The female appeared unconscious and did not move. The skin on her right leg was blackened and appeared to be burned from the fire. Her leg appeared to have been severed and removed from her body at the middle of the thigh. I stepped into the living room area where there was less smoke and advised dispatch of the female and to have rescue arrive as quick as possible. I left the blanket on the floor in the bathroom and stepped out of the apartment at this time. I then met with Officer Landavazo and requested that he place the female in the blue shirt into his police vehicle. The female then stated that her leg was broken from jumping off the rear balcony of the apartment. I assisted Officer Landavazo with holding the female up by her arms and walked her to his vehicle. She said that her name was Jessica Kelly. She was placed into the vehicle. I had no further contact with Jessica, the female caller, or the female with the injury to her head, or the male with the black eye. I then spoke to Lieutenant Ong, who took over scene responsibilities at this time. He ordered me to block the entrance to the complex to the south at Ivering Boulevard Northwest. I remained at that post until I was relieved by Officer Harrison. I spoke to detectives from the Violent Crimes Unit and CACU to explain the above. I had no other involvement with the investigation of this case.
Okay. So at this point, Jessica and Michelle are taken to the hospital. Jessica Kelly, hold on a minute. Yeah, no doubt. Hey to everybody coming in. If I missed you, I think I saw Gigi and Mrs. Woozy. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. This case is very triggering, so I just want to warn you. So they went to the hospital. Michelle Martens had that cut you saw in the front of her face in the mugshot. Jessica Kelly had broken her leg. At the hospital, she asks for a lawyer immediately and tells everybody, like, yells at the cops, tells them to F off, a whole bunch of things. Um, so then, we have the interrogation of Michelle Martens. I'm going to try I think this was like right pretty early on in my channel, and I don't know if I put chapters in, but I will bring up Michelle Martens' interview. Yep.
You go check
Mike,
on
start
her?
right there.
I did. Okay.
So I will play part of this so you can understand what she said. You kind of need to understand what she said and what she claimed happened. And then we'll talk about what actually happened because then what Jessica Kelly said in her plea deal, which nobody else had. I really wanted to know what Jessica Kelly's side to all this was. Jessica Kelly took a plea deal. And I'll go ahead. I'll just share this. We'll do it. I guess my ADHD is going to be all over the place because this case, there's a lot to it, and trying to explain it all to anybody who doesn't know it, it's going to be kind of difficult. So I'm going to do the best that I can. But if you want more information, I've got a whole playlist that when I put the second part of Michelle's plea deal out, we'll have everything in the entire case, every audio, every interrogation, everything. So Jessica Kelly was sentenced to 50 years with 6 years suspended for her role in the death of Victoria Martens. The sentencing was part of a plea deal, and Kelly will be eligible for parole after her release. Michelle Martens, the mother, was released from prison Tuesday, October 14th, Tuesday of this week. A couple of days ago, she was released from prison. Okay. And then Fabian, he's the only one who actually took his to trial, and he got 37.5 years. And it says Fabian Gonzalez has been sentenced to 37.5 years in prison for his role in the death of 10-year-old Victoria Martens. The sentence was handed down after he was convicted of reckless child abuse resulting in death and several counts of tampering with evidence. Gonzalez is the second person in the case to be sentenced, with his cousin Jessica Kelly already serving a 44-year sentence with good time credit. Gonzalez could potentially serve less than half of his sentence. Now, Fabian and Jessica are cousins. Jessica Kelly had just gotten out of prison for sexual contact with a minor. She had been out of prison for approximately a week when the death of Victoria Martens happened. Michelle and Fabian were dating. They met on Plenty of Fish. The day that Victoria died was her 10th birthday. Jessica Kelly was at the house. She had been staying there for about a week. Fabian and Michelle take Michelle's car to Fabian's uncle's house. They get some marijuana and he's drinking, and they come back and they're sitting in the car, per the story, and they're listening to the radio. Jessica brings Victoria down wrapped in a blanket, walks halfway down the front stairs of the apartment complex, and then turns around and goes back in. They go back in, and then Michelle's story is that Jessica said that that Victoria, the child, was asleep and like kept her from going back there because Jessica Kelly was staying in the room across from Victoria. So basically, Jessica Kelly saying she's asleep, and that's all that's said to Michelle. Meanwhile, Jessica claims that she got Fabian to help her basically decapitate Victoria Martens so they could try to get her out of the house without Michelle knowing and put her body parts in different places so that the crime is not found. I need to back up real quick. While Michelle and Fabian were gone during the day before Victoria died, Jessica Kelly is on a crap load of math. Like a whole bunch. She thinks the TV's talking to her. She thinks her ex-boyfriend, who's like named El Satan or something, is getting out of prison. She has a phone call with her sister who is in prison from prison. So the call was recorded that day. And she's just talking out of her head. Like the TV's talking to her all kinds of different things. Okay, so back to that night. So Michelle is in the room. Jessica's in the bathroom decapitating this 10-year-old child. And Fabian makes tacos. And so they eat tacos. Okay. And then Fabian and Michelle go to their room and they have relations. Okay. And then they go to sleep. And then Jessica Kelly comes in and says, "Do you believe in God?" Smacks her in the face with an iron. They run down the hallway to their neighbor's house and they call 911. Fabian's story is he had no idea about what was going on with Jessica Kelly, that she decapitated Victoria Martens by herself and that he cooked tacos. He cleaned blood up off the floor, but he claims it's from where Jessica Kelly smacked Michelle Martens in the face with an iron. Jessica Kelly's story is that Fabian and Michelle were gone, and the Victoria got off the bus and was just riding her scooter by herself outside in the apartment complex with one of her other friends. And so Jessica Kelly told her to come inside, said, "Where's your mom? Where's Fabian? Why aren't they watching you? Where are they at?" And she's like, "I don't know." Michelle said that she had asked Jessica to get Victoria, the child, off the bus, and that Jessica forgot or just didn't do it. So anyway, Victoria's riding a scooter and playing with her friend. Victoria comes inside with Jessica while Fabian and Michelle, her mother, are at Fabian's uncle's house getting some weed and drinking alcohol. And Jessica Kelly says somebody came in asking for Fabian. Somebody just busted in the door asking for Fabian. She said, "He's not here." And then he said, "Where's the little girl?" And she said, "Back there." And she went outside and smoked a cigarette. When she came back, she said the man left the little girl's room and said, "You better clean up or I'm going to kill you and your kids." And then he leaves. And so she goes in and she sees that the child is deceased and she is afraid for her life because he says, "I'm going to kill you and your children." And so she starts decapitating Victoria's body and going to dispose of it. So Jessica at the end of it all, and there's a lot that Michelle Martin says. This is later again found out to be a false confession, but we're going to watch it because she admits to some things, and some of it was true, some of it was not. We'll talk about what's true. We'll talk about what wasn't. It's very, very graphic. It's worse than what I just explained to you, if you can believe that at all. At the end of it all, Michelle took a plea deal, got 12 years, just was released on Tuesday. Jessica Kelly is doing 55 to 44 years in prison. I'm not sure which one of those. And then Fabian is doing 37 and a half years. There was unknown male DNA on Victoria, and nobody to this day knows who the unknown male's DNA is. He has not committed another crime in this country, at least, and he has not popped back up in the system to where they can match his DNA to anybody. Who the unknown male is, obviously nobody knows. So that's kind of where we're at with it. Well, you're going to get a little bit more pissed off when you find out about exactly how much, knowing that she got 12 years after what she's about to say. Like he wants you to know he doesn't have to listen. Okay.
And tell me about that. What did you see?
Just her laying there.
Great.
I didn't know what to do. I didn't.
Okay, so she walked in. She claims she walked in and saw Victoria laying there.
I want to call the cops because then they probably would have stopped me from trying to do that.
Okay.
I didn't know what to do.
There's another reason that you didn't call the police, though, isn't there? Why didn't you call police?
Because there was drugs in the house.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point, her story is when they're asking her how Victoria died, she says she got a hold of the math and she took it and she died.
And I didn't want them to think it was mine because it's not.
Okay, and I understand that. I understand. Okay, I mean, there's drugs in the house. You don't want to get in trouble. Okay, so you check on your daughter, and what do you find? It's okay.
She wasn't breathing when I went there.
Okay, was she dead?
She was.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I know that this is not your fault.
I feel like it is.
It's not.
That's how they want me to feel.
That is how they want you to feel. They want you to feel like you did this and it's your fault, but it's not.
So the cop is being really nice to her at this point, trying to find out what was happening.
Did anybody go in the room between when you checked on her and when the first time and the second time?
I'm not sure because I went to use the bathroom.
Okay.
Can I clarify something with your times a little bit? When did you and Fabian go to his brother's house to buy some weed? When was that? Was that before this or after?
It was before this.
Okay.
Because I wasn't home. I wasn't home to get Victoria at the bus.
So I'm going to skip it ahead a little bit because I just kind of want you to hear one important part. I'm going to try to find it. They get stopped.
I just left.
So you
Right when
left?
she stops holding her hand.
There was nothing else I could do. I didn't know what to do.
You're missing a whole bunch
Hey
of
Kim,
time.
good to see you.
Whole bunch of time. Okay. So, from the time you find your daughter and she's dead, Victoria is dead in her room, am I right? And then you leave. What happened in between that time?
Yep. Yes, ma'am, Lorianne.
I know it's hard.
I think before that was the time I took a stabbing her in the stomach.
Okay.
And then with the pillow over it.
So, explain the whole pillow over her head. What was that for?
Because it's gripped to hold her hands.
So was she already
Because she
dead?
was already.
Oh, okay. So you see her and can you kind of explain to me, she's holding her hands?
And Jessica's holding her hands. And Fabian was cutting her arm.
So they were cutting her arms off in the bedroom.
And then they put her in the bathtub.
Okay. When did they start
Hey,
cutting
Tammy.
her leg off?
Tammy, good to see you. I just want to warn you, this case is very hard to hear and it's very, very triggering. Abraham said, "There's nothing that pisses me off more than when I hear someone in an interrogation room say, 'I didn't know what to do.' How about you call the fucking police, you piece of shit?" Exactly. Sorry, the comments weren't up.
After they were deal.
After what?
After her birth.
After her. Okay. So what you're saying is Jessica was holding her arms and Fabian was cutting? Okay. So Fabian had the knife at that point? Okay. But you said that Jessica stabbed her in the stomach? Okay. Why?
It's like they were taking turns at her.
Okay. And when you saw this, you didn't call 911 because you were afraid that the cops were gonna know that there were drugs in the house?
And that they were gonna kill me right there on the spot.
Okay. Okay.
Or else I would have.
So at what time does Jessica carry your daughter down the stairs? Is this before or after they cut her up?
After.
So she was already cut up?
No, that's when they put her in the bathtub. It was before. Before they cut her, because then they put her other pieces in the bathtub.
So she carried her downstairs to you guys
I'm
when
gonna
you
look
guys
for
were
the
in the car
transcript
before they
real
cut her up?
I want to keep the captions up because this is also before I started doing auto captions. So I'm going to keep them up and stop and read your comments. Tammy said, "I couldn't imagine my baby, my child. Jesus, why? Right? Absolutely not." And that's why Jessica Kelly says that she later decided that she was going to commit the homicide of Michelle, because she's like, if you can't even protect your child, you're not going to protect me. So I'm just going to take you out at this point, because she's high on all of the things. Julie said, "I'm just devastated knowing this momster is out of custody. I hate hearing her cry. She's such a liar and a horrible human. She's allowed to be free and her child is dead." Yes, ma'am. Norma, good to see you, love. Thank you for being here. But part of it is not true. That part, I'm not sure. I'm going to look for the one part that I want you to see. Yeah, they talk about making tacos. Hold on just a minute. What word should I? I'm going to try to search it. Okay, it's right there. That's it. That's where it starts. Okay. This is what I wanted you to see.
One question, and it's a very serious question. Okay. Who was raping your daughter? Who was sexually assaulting your daughter? Who was sexually assaulting your daughter, Michelle? Because you knew about it.
That was my ex-boyfriend.
That was your ex-boyfriend?
Yes. And that's why I got rid of him.
What's his name?
David Hernandez.
That is true. Her ex-boyfriend was essaying this child.
Is he assaulting your son as well?
Not that I know of.
I don't
Michelle.
know.
Because my
Let me
son is
look it up.
barely with me. He's mostly with his father.
Michelle, was he assaulting your son as well?
Not really, no.
When did
Time out.
Yeah.
To be frank, what the fuck does not really know mean when it comes to raping a child? Was he assaulting your son or not?
No.
Okay, that was the most, out of all the answers you've given me, that was the most deceptive answer you've given me all day. You need to, this is the time, you're not in trouble for it, we gotta know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Was he assaulting your son as well?
No.
When did you find out that Fabian and Jessica were sexually active with your daughter? When did you find out? And be honest.
Not too long ago.
Not too long ago. Okay.
Because if I would have known.
Okay. So you asked me, does she have to register? And no, she does not. The reason is because this was a lie. Part of it. Her ex was SAing her daughter. But I'm going to let it play a little bit more, and I'm going to try to figure out how to kind of explain it to you.
That I would have totally get out.
So, how much meth were they giving her so that way they could sexually assault her?
Probably quite a few.
They gave it to her quite a few times. Okay.
How would they give it to her?
They just put it in her mouth.
Okay.
Exactly.
How did she die last night?
So Victoria Martens, when they did the autopsy, there was no methamphetamine in her system. And right here, she's explaining how they gave her the meth, and she's going to say that she died of meth, and then she died from the SA from Fabian and Jessica, and those things did not happen. Victoria Martens was SA'd the night she died, and she had an STD that she had had for some time before she died. We know that the ex-boyfriend of hers, David Hernandez, she caught him kissing Victoria, and she called CPS. And CPS got involved, and I think they gave it to police, and nothing happened. Something happened. Jessica saw something happen. Jessica coached somebody to do something. There was unknown male DNA on her. To this day, nobody knows who the unknown male DNA is. Fabian's DNA was nowhere on Victoria. And Fabian swears up and down to this day he never touched her in that way. He never touched her like to SA her or anything. He claims that he did not know what Jessica was doing until right before I can't remember. You have to watch his interrogations because they say he's lying. I feel like he was actually telling the truth. It's either, I think, like sometimes he says one thing and sometimes he says another. It's either he didn't know at all until, he didn't know at all. She comes in and hits Michele in the face with the iron, and then they run to get help, and then everything else happened after that. Or he said he found out right before he started to make tacos, and so he made tacos to keep Michele distracted. But I don't think that's how it went, because I think that's what they suspected, or they asked him several times if it happened that way, and he said no, because he claims that they had relations. Him and Michele had relations that night as well. They say, the police said that all of the stories that she told that were a lie was because Michele Martens was a people pleaser, and not many people believe that. Not many people know that. It's in, and I can show you that clip, but I'm sure they're going to talk about it. Let me check my playlist and see if I can locate it. It was in a playlist when we were covering the case, and Lord, I've got too many playlists. I'm going to briefly search for it, but I'm sure they're going to go over it in the plea deal hearing. And because I think it's after the plea deal hearing that they come out and say that she was lying. No, that's my public playlist. Hold on. But they're going to go over it. So I might have deleted it because we went over all that stuff. Nope. That's not it either. All right, so we're gonna just go ahead and go over the plea deal hearing, because I know they're gonna talk about it in that case. This is allegedly where she tells the truth of what actually happened that night, and this is why she only got 12 years. I don't know all of what it says. I've listened to about the first 3 minutes of it and the very end of it to make sure that it recorded correctly. So we're gonna kind of blind react to it together. Abraham said, I think he was truthful and was trying to protect her. I do too. Cindy said, I believe him too. I do too. I don't know that he should have necessarily gotten 37 and a half years.
You on? Yep. Today's date is Saturday, November 11th, 2017. Time now is
So this is an audio only, but I made overlays for it. So we'll look at some pictures and we're going to talk about it as we go over it. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Yeah, right, Tammy, let's go. I want to know the truth. Jessica Kelly has a plea deal hearing too that nobody else has. If you want to listen to that, we've been through all of this other stuff several times.
about 8:22 a.m. My name is Rich Lewis. I'm a detective with the Albuquerque Police Department. And to my left, if we could just start and we'll just have everybody go around the table and introduce themselves for the tape, please.
Bryce Perry, I'm an investigator for Gary Mitchell.
I'm Deputy District Attorney Greer Rose.
Gary Mitchell, I'm Michelle's attorney.
And could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Michele Martens.
Okay. And Michelle, I just want to talk to you a little bit on what we're doing here today. We're going to talk to you. And I'm going to talk to you here in a bit. What I want to do is go nice and slow. And if you don't understand what I'm asking, please ask me to repeat it or to clarify. If at any time you're not comfortable, you need to take a break. Is that the alarm going off?
That's not.
Hang on just a second. There must be the alarm going off downstairs.
They're not normally open on Saturdays.
Yeah,
They're like
that's an audible alarm went off.
set the like burglar alarm on.
Okay, I think we can still be heard on the tape, so I'll kind of talk a little louder. As I was saying, if you don't understand a question I've asked or I've confused in some way, please ask me to clarify. Okay? I'm going to ask you to say yes or no. I've got a very bad habit where a lot of times I say and it's really hard down the road to figure out if that's a yes or a no answer, okay? So we'll go nice and slow. If you need to use the restroom, take a break. If any time that you just need to take a few minutes, that's fine, okay? You've been given what's called a Castigar letter. Have you reviewed that with your attorney this morning?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions about that, either myself?
I want to know, I think he says Castigar letter. I want to know what that is. I heard that the first time we saw it. I don't know what that is. Let me try to search it. Lordy have mercy. Y'all, hold on. I'm sorry. See, it must be something that they just made up for this case because I'm not seeing it. They're just talking about plea deals. Receiving a letter from the district attorney can be unsettling, and it often carries significant legal implications, but we're not finding much else about it. Oh, duh. It was right there. But it's still not telling me anything, I don't think. This is talking about North Carolina, specifically where I live, but it's a proposed plea agreement might address multiple charges, an Alford plea. All right, we'll just go back to it. It might break it down some. I'm not sure. Hold on. I wanted to see if I could figure out what specifically that was for. Yeah, probably. You're probably exactly right, Tammy. And I don't understand why like AI can't say that. Oh, that means that it's some type of immunity for something. She had to have gotten immunity for what she was going to say, in my opinion. I know. I feel like y'all. Sometimes I get on here and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so ignorant today. Where is my mind? I feel uneducated. Uneducated. Not her, it. Oh, sounds like he gave her some type of immunity on or the letter. Sorry. Okay, I misread it. See, again, I'm so uneducated today. Sounds like the letter gave her some type of immunity on some things. Cast to guard letter. All right, I'm going to play this and see if I find anything on that.
Yourself or the DA or your attorney can clarify that before we get started.
No.
Just for the record, I just want to understand that I'm going to read the last
Nothing on that
paragraph
either.
in this. This is after consultation with my attorney. I understand and agree to the contents of this letter, and that means the Castigar letter you've reviewed with your attorney. I understand that any statement I may give is provided of my own free will and is voluntary. I understand that I'm not compelled to provide a statement by the court or by any law enforcement or prosecutorial agency. Do you understand?
So basically, she's there of her own free will, I'm guessing is what it means. Kim, how is your grandson? How's he doing? Your little Halloween grandson baby. It might be specific for New Mexico. I'll try looking it up that way too. Your picture is gorgeous. Tammy, you're so pretty. I have to put him on the screen so I can see him. Castergar. Yeah, right. Yeah, she got out on Tuesday, Connie. I didn't even know that. Castergar. Okay, I'm going to try 'em. I'm going to see what we can find.
All of that?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure you're here of your own free will and with the advice of your attorney, Mr. Mitchell. Okay. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
Okay. All I'll ask, and what would you like me to call you? Can I call you Michelle during this interview? Okay.
Yes.
Again, I'm Rich, and I'm not very formal, as your attorney knows. I'm pretty easy to get.
So we found something. Castigar versus United States. That's probably what it's referencing. That was a United States Supreme Court decision that ruled on the issue of whether the government's grant of immunity from prosecution can compel a witness to testify over an assertion of the Fifth Amendment privilege and against self-incrimination. In a 5-2 decision, the court held that the government can overcome a claim of Fifth Amendment privilege by granting a witness use and derivative use immunity in exchange for the testimony. Okay, so basically, even though she pled the Fifth, they made this Castigar agreement where even though she's pled the Fifth, she decided she wanted to talk to them and basically got immunity in exchange for, or partial immunity, some type of immunity in exchange for her testimony, even though she had already previously pled the Fifth. Thank you, Cindy from sunny South Florida, for finding that.
Along with. I don't get real excited about things anymore. I've been doing this a long time, and I'm kind of getting along a little old, so all I ask for is that I'm not going to lie to you during this interview. I will only tell you the truth. I won't ask you questions, and I want truthful answers. Okay?
Exactly.
That's all I expect. It's truthful, be candid with me. Please do not add anything. If you don't know, the answer I don't know is perfectly acceptable. If you don't remember, that's perfectly acceptable. We have a lot of records that have been provided in this case. It's called discovery. Phone records, text records, photographs, things like that. Excuse me. We may use those to help refresh your memory, or we know it's been a while since this happened. And we know that sometimes it helps if I can show you something. I don't want to tell you what to say ever. But if I can show you a record or a photograph or a text message that might put a time context to what we're asking. Does that understand?
Yes.
But please don't ever let me put words in your mouth. If you feel I'm doing that, you stop me right then and there, okay?
Yes.
Because this is your interview, and all we want is the truth of what you remember, what you saw, what you heard, what you did. Okay?
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, go ahead and grab a tissue. And I understand this is emotional for everyone in this room. We understand that. It's okay. The other thing, and they won't do it, but what gets picked up on the recorder is the handcuffs on the glass. And I'm so sorry, but that gets really picked up.
Okay.
But it's going to happen. So if I remind you, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just down the road, we're going to have to transcribe what we're doing here today. And it makes it real hard for everyone doing that and we have all those other noises, okay?
So if you said it's basically the same thing that happened with Jennifer Soto. Jennifer Soto was given derivative immunity to testify about what actually happened, and I've been fighting trying to get that damn interview. I want it so bad. I could taste it. I want that damn interview that she did with the DA's office for derivative immunity. Jennifer Soto is who I'm talking about right now, because the one that we have, the one that's on my channel, and the one that we've all heard all over YouTube, they redacted a bunch of shit out of that interview. And I want the unredacted version. I want to know exactly what she knew. I want to know exactly what she condoned. I want to know. And they don't want to come up off of it. I'm working on it though. Yeah, I was pulling a Sarah Boone with the cheese. What the crap? You two being weird.
So I'm not trying to be mean. I like to keep my hands up here too. But just because, and we'd ask, but
I'm
they'll
trying
tell
to
us
get
no.
it in the daytime with a flashlight.
All right, we ready to get started? You
Yes.
doing okay?
Yes, for
Okay.
now.
All right, just take a deep breath for me, okay? Okay. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Michele Ann Martens.
Okay. And can you tell me where you were born, Michelle?
July 14th, 1981.
Okay, and where were you born?
In Bronx, New York.
Bronx, New York. Did you grow up there?
Yes.
When did you, tell me about growing up there. Where did you go to school?
I went to PS 72 for my elementary school. I went to IS 192 for my junior high school, and I went to Lehman High School for my high school.
Okay, so Lehman High School?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to slow down just a little bit.
Okay.
That's okay.
I'm used to talking fast.
It's okay, we're gonna slow everything down. I talk fast too, but
Okay.
but I keep saying is somebody's gonna have to listen to this down the road and they have to type all this out for us. So we're gonna slow down. Okay. Tell me about your mom and dad. What are their names?
Patricia Martens and John Martens.
Are they both still alive?
Yes.
Are they here or in New York?
They're here in New Mexico.
Okay. Okay. When did you leave New York? After high school or?
Yeah, after, it was after high school, and I didn't leave right away. I moved out here in 2005, August of 2005.
When did you graduate high school?
Well, I graduated Lehman, but they didn't let me walk down the aisle because I failed. It's like a major test that you have to pass to walk down the aisle and graduate. It's called the RCT.
Okay.
And I failed that by 1 point, so they didn't let me walk down the aisle. But then I did a homeschooling from James Madison High School, and I graduated from there and got my diploma from there.
Okay. When was that?
I think it was 2002.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact year.
So about 3 or so years before you moved out here to Albuquerque?
Yes.
So after you graduated high school, what'd you do?
Drugs are bad, you
I
guys.
was working,
Okay.
like little jobs here and there.
Okay. In New York?
Yes.
In New York City?
Yeah. No, not city.
Okay.
I wish.
Okay.
But in the Bronx area.
Okay, in the Bronx area? What
Yeah,
kind of jobs do you
definitely.
have?
Cashier jobs, deli jobs, mainly
Okay.
out there.
Okay.
Where were your parents then? They were living in our house out there in New York.
Okay, so you lived with them?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Did you have any relationships back then? Boyfriend,
Uh,
girlfriend type relationships?
I had a few.
Okay. Had a few back then?
Yeah.
Okay. What prompted you to finally leave New York?
I was.
You can hear her smiling talking about that. Like when they asked her if she had a boyfriend, you can hear in her voice how she smiles when she says that. So I thought that she had been to college and she might talk about it before. I think I got that from a comment. So that she didn't say anything about college just yet. So I might have been wrong about that. Like I said, I haven't listened to all of it. I didn't know, I knew her parents were from up north, but I didn't know they were from like the Bronx. That's interesting.
Getting into trouble with the friends I was hanging out with, but I
Okay.
never did any jail time
She didn't.
out there.
Okay.
But I was just getting into trouble hanging out with the wrong crowd and everything, and they did drugs and they were drinking, and I've tried weed, but I never got addicted to it, so I never did any other drugs after that.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I don't think she was doing participating in the party favors, if you will, that night. I think Fabian was, even though he doesn't admit it. And I think that I know that Jessica was. Yes, this scar on her face is where the iron busted her in the face because Jessica Kelly came in their room and just said, "Do you believe in God?" and smacked her in the face with the iron. She also had a big lump on the back of her head. So from the apartment, they take her to the hospital. She's detained. Jessica goes to a different hospital. Jessica is detained. They're both detained at the hospital. They both receive the appropriate medical care, and then they are booked. Now, she claims she didn't do anything, but her face is kind of broke out. I don't know if that's stress acne or from something else, but that scar is definitely from being hit in the face with the iron. We can all, make your own formulated, educated guesses.
And then after that, I just moved out here.
Okay. How did
Yeah,
you pick
the iron
New
vision
Mexico?
she got.
My best friend Tina, her parents had property out here in Rio Rancho,
Okay.
and they came out here and visited out here, and they decided they liked it, and they were gonna move out here, and they asked me to come with them,
Okay.
and
Yes.
I moved
Hold on, let
out
me
here
clear
with
my
them.
chest.
Okay. When you moved out here, where'd you first stay?
I stayed with my best friend's mother and father.
Okay, and it's Tina, what's Tina's last name?
Christina Cirillo,
Christine Cirillo?
Yes.
Okay. Whereabouts were they living when you first stayed with them?
1515 Fox Hill Place, Southwest.
Okay, here in the city?
Southwest, yeah,
Okay, so they weren't up in Rio Rancho?
no,
Okay.
they just had property out there.
Okay, how long did you stay with them?
About a year or so.
That bird twat.
How long had you been friends with Tina?
Like 24 years.
Since you were like
Elementary school.
little
yeah.
kids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
What kind of things did you guys do?
Oh, we did everything, like silly things. We would go to each other's houses, and then when we got old enough to drive, we would just go driving everywhere and just like be silly.
Right.
But
Even she's very juvenile. Even describing that, she says we would just drive around and be silly. That's weird for me. Snarky Pants said she got a certificate for an online school. I believe it was for medical billing and coding, but never got a job doing that. Thank you so much, Snarky Pants. I appreciate that information and I believe it. So I thought she had some kind of extra training, or I think that's what the person was trying to tell me. And it's interesting, right? Because we can get training in medical coding and billing and be able to get, a decent paying job doing that, I would think. I think they get paid pretty good to do that. But you confess to a bunch of shit that's not even true because you're trying to please investigators, detectives, whatever you want to call them. Like, that doesn't make sense for me, and I'm having trouble believing that. Victoria is no longer here to tell the story. So we can do medical coding and billing, but if we're being interrogated by police, we're going to tell a whole bunch of lies that make the whole situation look a lot worse than it actually was. And it was about as bad as you could get to begin with because she was a people pleaser. Like, that's not making sense for me. I feel like she might have told more of the truth and we'll never know in that interview, knowing that she got extra schooling, education, if you will. She obviously has the cognitive ability to know something. And I would think she would also, by proxy, have the cognitive ability to know that telling a whole bunch of lies to the police is not going to help at all.
like close, we're like sisters. So
Good.
That's fun. You get to like move here with basically your best friend ever, right?
yeah, but then she moved back to New York because she couldn't let New York go. So she moved back over there.
Oh, no.
And then eventually she wound up back over here.
Okay, is she here now?
Yes.
Okay.
Y'all got me looking at the chat over here going,
What in the fuck knuckles is this?
damn, that was probably the wrong one. I probably said the wrong thing just there, too. Let's do this one.
Now what the fuck is going on?
Much better. That's what y'all got me thinking when I hit the chat over here.
Were you still friends with her?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
It does.
So after you spent about a year with her and her family, is that correct?
Yes.
What happens, where do you go next?
I met Jason.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oding, and
That's horrible.
I moved in, well, I didn't technically move in with him, but I went slowly. But the snowstorm that we had in November of 2006 got me snowed in his house.
Okay.
So that's how basically I wound up with him.
Where was Jason living at that time?
Oh, he was living over there off of 2nd Street in Osuna over there. He was in a trailer home. He was living with 2 girls.
Okay. How'd you meet Jason?
Off of MySpace.
Okay. Walk me through how that happened.
I was actually talking to his friend, and we were supposed to double date that night. And it was supposed to be me, my friend, and then him and his other friend. And I was supposed to hook up with his friend, and Jason was supposed to hook up with my friend. But my friend canceled out on me, so it was just me with the 2.
Okay.
And I went there, and I had no interest in his friend whatsoever, and I just started talking to Jason, and since then, we've just been going out and been going to his house, staying at his house.
Okay. Were you working at this time?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Tell me about this snowstorm. So how early was that? That's so funny.
It was in November of 2005, but it's like I had a Chevy Malibu at the time.
Okay, so you're not going anywhere.
No, no. And the snow was like up to my trunk.
Right.
And I wasn't even gonna attempt to drive in it because at the time I did have my daughter at 3 months old.
Oh
She
my
was
gosh,
3
you
months.
had a baby.
Yes.
Oh
So,
goodness. So
I
was
was
that awkward? Was it like, hey?
It was.
How do we?
It was, because I felt awkward at first because I've never done anything like that before. So.
But you have no choice, you're trapped.
Exactly. But then it's like when the snow melted away, it's like I just never went back to Tina's mom's house. And I do feel bad for that because they went out of their way and did everything for me. And I just went up and did that with them, especially with the baby. So they were worried about me. I wasn't answering their phone calls. And finally I got in touch with my mom and I was like, hi mom. And she was like, where did I find you?
Oh my gosh.
And then I had to tell her what happened and she's just glad to hear I was okay. And
Was your mom and dad here then? Or
No,
they
they
still
were in New York.
They were still in New York.
Well, let's be honest. Who cares about the damn snowstorm where you locked yourself in a dude's house and slept with him probably 17 times with the snow on the ground because you were locked in? There's Miss North. I don't know what you said before, but it didn't show up on my side. The cats are flashing people. Oh my goodness. You bet you need to get you 6 little nip covers for all the animals.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what happens next? You kind of
They are
moving in with
overly happy.
Jason. How long were you with Jason in North Valley?
Oh, I don't remember exactly how long I was there, but I know that we did move out and we moved to the Bandelier Apartments off of Ellis.
Okay, so let me get this right. You were at his house in a snowstorm, snowed in. You really liked him. Y'all started hanging out and dating, but still you don't know how long y'all were together? Okay.
Ellison and, not Ellison, McMahon and golf course that now called the Sandia Village, something like that.
Yep.
Okay.
We moved there together and we lived there
Okay.
for a while.
How long do you think you lived there?
I would say for about maybe 6 months to a
Okay.
year, around there.
Okay. Were you working then?
Yes.
Okay. Where were you working there?
I was working at Linens and Things.
Linens and things?
Yes.
Okay. How was
When-
that?
It was fun. I liked it,
Okay.
especially because I had the candle department. So.
Okay.
You always smelled good when you were
Yeah. Yep. And I liked it. And eventually I became a cashier, the lead cashier. So basically it's like a supervisor,
Oh,
cashier
wow.
supervisor.
Good.
So
Okay. How long did you work there?
altogether I worked there for like
Right, Kim?
4.5, 5 years.
Wow,
Because
okay.
I started in New York and then I transferred when I came out here.
Okay. So you had a job
That's
with Linen
weird.
Things in New York,
Yes.
and you're able to find the same business out here.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
one that was on Cutler Avenue in the Pavilion at San Mateo.
Yes, I know exactly.
It was
where
right there.
Right by the freeway.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
She says she had the daggum newborn with her. What the hell? Sometimes I just can't with these little chats about snowstorms and where people work. I'm like, oh my God, get to the point. I get it. I agree. And they're overly excited about it, laughing and just acting like, it's the best day of the week.
Okay. So you're working.
No remorse, no care for Victoria. Like I can't. I know they have a job to do and there's a reason for all of it, but it doesn't make it any less aggravating.
At Linens and Things, and you're living on the west side with Jason.
Yes.
Okay. What else is going on?
We suddenly the rent got too expensive because they raised the rent. So for a while we were homeless.
Okay.
So it was me, Jason, and my daughter.
What did you guys do?
We basically were living in a hotel, like going back and forth to a hotel, and then finally his sister said that we can go live with her. So we lived with her, but not for long because her and Jason bumped heads because they're both stubborn.
Okay.
So they were constantly fighting, and then we decided that we had to move out.
Okay.
And that's when we moved to the Sedona Ridge Apartments. Sedona Ridge.
Sedona Ridge. Okay.
I believe it's off of Comanche and somewhere else. I forgot the exact
Okay.
street.
Okay. How long did you guys stay there?
A year. We signed a year lease.
Okay. How was that?
It was okay. My car got broken into, so it wasn't all that.
Wasn't all that great, though, was it?
No.
Okay.
So, and then after, because basically after that, and plus it was towards the end of our lease, that's when we moved out of there.
Okay. Where'd you move next?
We went to go live with this girl named Linda in Rio Rancho.
Okay. Who's Linda?
That was one of Jason's co-workers because he worked at Intel.
Okay.
So that was one of his co-workers that he worked with at the time.
Okay.
And we lived with her in Rio Rancho. I believe it's Astor Place, like 912 Astor,
Okay.
something like that.
How was that?
It was okay.
It was okay? A little
Yes.
tough living with somebody else?
Yes.
Okay. It got you through things, though?
Yes.
Okay. How long do you think you lived there? I don't know if I asked you that.
I would say about.
That's a good point, Snarky, because through this all, her parents really backed her up. I do want to talk about the parents for a minute. Snarky Pants said, can you just imagine being her mother and not knowing what, where, or who is going on with your grandbaby all the way across the country because they're in the Bronx, New York, and she's out here in New Mexico. And with Michelle being these children's mother, she has Victoria and she has Matthew. Allegedly, Matthew was abused as well, I think just by the ex boyfriend. There is a transcript of Matthew's interrogation. I have not read all of it. It makes me upset to read it, and I will not put that out because I think at the time he was interviewed, he was about 8 years old. If anybody really feels compelled to read it, I suggest you FOIA it and purchase it yourself. I'm not gonna. That was a child. I just don't do that. But going back to her mother, there allegedly there is some cognitive dissonance there. So knowing not only that you have a daughter that needs a little help from time to time, she has 2 children, and all of them are across the country, and then you find out that your granddaughter is deceased. She was homicided in the most horrific way you could think possible. She had been SA'd before she was homicided and had an STD from it. Like, my God, I do feel sorry for her mom. And I think her mom and her dad are how she got the plea deal she did. I think they kind of spoke up for her and talked to the DA and were like, y'all need to understand that she, there's some issues going on here because they were at her court appearances and stuff, what they could make. They didn't make every single one from my understanding, but they're all the way in New York. You know what I mean? Miss North said she would shut down if they were aggressive with her, and I think you're right. That's when she starts lying, as we kind of saw in the other interrogation when they were holding her hand, being so sweet to her. She seemed to be telling the truth, but then when they got more aggressive with her, she started lying. And the DA probably knows that and recognized that because they're trying to get the truth at this point. So that could be the tactic that they're using exactly. Nope, I would train Hop to get to that precious child from that demon beast. Yeah, and she thinks that Michelle's okay taking care of her at the time until she gets hit with, "Oh, your granddaughter's deceased and all this shit has happened," and it's just a lot. I, I couldn't imagine. And I don't there's I still don't know. To this day, like, I still don't know exactly what's going on with Michelle, but I do have compassion for her mother. Miss North said, I'm glad you didn't put it out. He'll see it out here on these streets someday. People really need to remember that. They do. If you feel compelled enough to read it, you can FOIA it. But I would ask if you do that, please don't put it out here. That was a little 8-year-old boy who had just seen his older sister. Well, I don't think he saw him, but his older sister had just died. He had seen some things, possibly abused himself. Please, if you get it, don't do that. The son was with his father. They had split custody. So Michelle would get him some weekends and then he would live with his father sometimes. And allegedly his father watched adult playtime videos in front of him. But she put a stop to that. And she originally said that his father had hurt him, but the police did very extensive interrogations and interviews and found out that his father did not hurt him. He might at one point have walked in on his father watching some adult playtime movies or something to that extent, but his father, afterwards, we find out that his father took very good care of him. Hey, Kat. Very, very sad. My grandbabies are my life. Their smiles make my day. I know. And could you imagine being halfway across the country? Oh, I can't wait. I mean, I can wait, but I have so much compassion for grandparents. They seem to have such a good relationship with their grandchildren. I'm sure she was lying her ass off to her parents. I doubt her mother knew anything, and that's where I'm at. We must try to understand this evil that is going on around. We must try to understand to prevent this and protect the babies. I agree. I agree. Yeah, thank goodness he wasn't there at the time.
6 months.
6 months?
Yes, and at this time I realized I was pregnant with my son.
Okay. Okay. So after the 6 months, were you still working Linens and things at that time?
No, I was working at the Holiday Inn Express off of I-25 by the Loon Fiesta.
Okay. Okay. How come you left Linens?
Because they closed down. They saying they were going to close
That's
down, so
right.
I was like, okay. So instead of like being closed down and being jobless, I just decided to start finding a job when they let me know.
Yeah, that's smart.
So I went to the Holiday Inn,
Okay.
and I was a night auditor over there.
Okay.
So I worked from 11 at night till 7 in the morning.
Ooh,
And
great
you were
shift.
pregnant?
At the time, but I didn't know I was pregnant with my daughter.
Oh, when you had Victoria?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It's I call her my miracle child, basically, because she is, and I look like I do now when I delivered her.
Like
And
you just never showed?
I just never showed. I had my period the whole time, and nothing like ever showed. I didn't have no mood swings or anything like that.
Were you here when you were pregnant with her?
Yes, she
Okay.
was born August 23rd of 2006.
Yeah.
And,
So what happened? Just
I was living with Petra at the time, which is Christina's mother and father.
Cat Ride, you get out there and do that yard work. I hope you enjoy it. I like doing yard work. Thank you for coming in and thank you for being here. Them lies, though, said Tammy. The best parents make grandparents. I've seen that on a license plate. That is adorable. That's so sweet. Bella said, Kelly, I was the same way when my parents were alive. Had opportunities to go away for work, but I stayed put. Yeah, Kelly said, I'm almost 48 years old and I won't move too far away from my mama. Y'all are good children. That's amazing. Oh, Bella's take a shower, honey. I'll put it up on my phone and I'll watch for the comments that we have to approve. You're fine, sweetheart. You go take you a shower if you need to.
And I was getting ready to go to work
Nessa, it
at
is.
the
It's
Holiday
me,
Inn,
love.
and basically
Right,
I was just
right.
getting ready to go to work. It was like 9:30 at night, and I went to the bathroom because I didn't feel good, and I thought it was just my monthly cycle starting to come on, and I went to the bathroom and I just wasn't feeling like at all. So I called in to the Holiday Inn, and they were like, well, we need you here. She's like, you're the only one. So I'm like, okay, I'll try and make it. And I did my best, and I got dressed, and I was about to walk out the door, and I couldn't even stand up. I was like all hunched over, and I was sweating, and I was like pale and everything.
Wow.
And Petra was like, you don't look so good. Where are you going? I was like, I gotta go to work. They said that they need me there. They're like, you're not going anywhere looking like that. And I went to go call them back, and then finally the last time I went back into the bathroom, and I felt like I had to go poop. So I sat on the toilet and nothing came out, and then all of a sudden like I started to throw up. And then from throwing up, I thought I peed myself because I got wet down there. But then after realizing what it was, I sat on the toilet, I looked down and saw the top of her head.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
And I put a towel on the floor, and 4 pushes, she was out.
What were you thinking?
I was terrified.
Yeah.
I was terrified. And I was crying, I was shaking, and then I took my cell phone and I called Petra into the bathroom.
Oh my gosh, what did she do?
She opened the door, she's like, okay.
We have a situation, apparently.
Yeah, and then she told me that she went to her husband and she's like, we just had a baby.
Oh my god.
I was like, I was so like, I was
You was
like
in
shy, I was in shock, I was scared, I didn't know what to do. And they finally called the ambulance.
Right.
And the ambulance cut the umbilical cord and they took us to Presbyterian.
Nessa says, Abellis, I have anemia and got rotten tiredness, so I missed everyone on the mend. I'm on the mend. How are you? Nessa, we missed you and I hope you feel better, sweetheart. I'm glad to see you though. Abellis said, Nessa, oh no, I hope you're better. Any move towards Tunisia? Tunisia? I forgot that you were doing that. See, y'all remember everything. My brain doesn't work that good. Tammy pointed out that she's using very elementary words, and she is. In my opinion, she absolutely is, and it shows a level of immaturity.
And I didn't have anything for her whatsoever. I didn't have a crib, clothes, anything, car seat, or anything, anything. And they took her vital signs and everything. She was 100% healthy. She was 6 pounds, 12 ounces, and 19 and a half inches
Like
long.
totally full term. Yeah.
Yep. And right when I was about to sign the papers to like give her up for adoption, because I wasn't financially stable.
Right.
And I just wasn't able to care for a child at the time. All of a sudden things started coming to me, like the hospital gave me a car seat, the hospital gave me clothes, Petra in Orlando bought me a crib, and it's like everything just came to me, and then I was able to take care of her. And it was the most.
You know, to hear this story about how this child was born and then the whole community came together and made sure that this woman had everything she needed for this baby girl that she just gave birth to that she didn't know about. And I mean, again, you got an online degree on medical coding and billing, but you don't know you're pregnant. Like I understand it's not the medical field per se, but like really? Really? I'm not quite grasping all that. Um, maybe it was a fake online degree. Who knows? Lala, good to see you. I want to warn you that this case is highly triggering. Yeah, if that's true, to know that the community came together when she gave birth to this child because she was going to give her up for adoption and she didn't have anything, and then everybody started bringing in all these things. I mean, number one, I'm kind of leaning towards you because if I'm thinking about the hospital and you're just deciding whether to give up your baby or not, they might not want to influence you to try to keep the baby by like providing you all these things. But if they did do that, it's just so sad to think about how well loved from the day of birth Victoria was. She had lots of friends at school and lots of friends on the bus. Her teachers liked her. She was a good student. I mean, she seemed very cared for by the community. Unfortunately and fortunately, a lot of people loved her. They had memorials out for her and all kinds of prayer vigils and things. It's just I don't know. That kind of just made it a little worse for me. You know what I mean?
Frightening day of my life, but it was
Right.
the most joyful day of my life because
Exactly.
it's like I still can't imagine my life without her.
How did you tell your mom about it? Tell me about calling your parents, because they're in New York.
I was afraid to call them.
Yeah.
But Petra wound up calling my parents. And well, my mom actually, because my dad was working at the time.
Okay.
And my mom answered the phone, and she heard Petra's voice, and she was like, I have to talk to you. And my mom's like, what now? She's like, you might want to sit down for this. And I'm like, uh-oh.
So you're just listening to her.
Yeah.
So you probably are imagining what your mom's doing on the other side of that call.
Yes. And my mom finally told me that she told Petra that she was sitting down, but she really wasn't. She was pacing back and forth. She's like, what'd she do now?
Oh, no.
And then she's like, you didn't do nothing. She's like,
That's
you just
amazing.
became a grandma last
Karen.
night. And I don't know what my mom's reaction was, but I know she started crying and everything. And I talked to her and I started crying. My mom started crying. She yelled at me and because she was out in May, and supposedly I was 6 months pregnant and I was on my period, so I couldn't go swimming, and I looked like I do now.
Yes, Nessa.
So your mom didn't,
No.
Shock to her too, because
Yes.
you would expect 6 months somebody to have a big belly. That's so crazy.
Yes.
Did they come visit?
No,
See, Abraham said, she said she was afraid she hid the pregnancy, and Abraham had just said, I'm sure there's bits and pieces of it, like she hid the pregnancy and maybe the baby came sooner than expected, things like that. And that's what I'm thinking as well. Yep. Yeah, I was like, Abella, are you in the shower texting? I got my phone. I got the YouTube up on my phone, so if I need to release a comment from YouTube, I will. Oh, and I'm glad that she came back, Karen, and was around y'all after so long. That's crazy. I left when I was 17, but I've always kept in touch, you know.
I wound up visiting them when Victoria was a month old.
Okay.
And then I kept going to New York after that. Yeah. And then
I was thinking that too. And that's why I was like, Lorianne said I was going to give up the baby because I had nothing for her. People gave her things, so she kept the baby. That's mothering, right? Like, if you're legitimately talking about giving up a baby for adoption, like, and saying it's because I'm not financially stable, would a hospital then say, "Oh, well, let me provide you all these things and make sure you have all these things so that you decide not to keep a baby that you said you can't afford?" Like, I don't know. Like, if she talked to the social worker and was like, "Oh, I want to keep my baby, but I'm so afraid because I can't support her financially, but I'll go to work every day and I'll figure out a way," then yeah, I could see them, trying to help her with things, but not, "I can't afford a baby, so I'm going to give her up for adoption." And then, "No, don't do that. Let me give you all these things." Like, I don't see that happening. I think again, that's another lie. She was like, "Oh, I love my child. I want to keep my child. I just don't know what to do. I don't have anything for her." Then the community would do something. You know what I mean? She's definitely an unusual girl with not much mothering instincts at all. I agree, Snarky Pants, 100%. Anna said, "No way, doesn't sound true." Right, exactly.
It was just like I was so joyful to just like have her in my life and thanking God that she was healthy. And because I watched this show called I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant.
Totally watched that show. Yeah.
After all this, and I was like, wow, these things can happen if you don't take prenatal care, if you don't go to doctors, if you don't do this. And I was just praying to him that she was healthy. That's why I call her my miracle child.
How was she as a baby? Was she?
Oh, she was awesome. She slept through the night, literally.
Like right away?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I think it's mainly because I put cereal in the bottle to make the bottle a little thicker. Yeah.
Ma'am, you can't put cereal in a baby infant fresh from the hospital's bottle. I don't think. No, I think they have to be a couple of months old before you do that. Like that. Yeah, you can't do that. Stop lying. Y'all see, shit don't even make sense. Stop lying. It's been a minute since I had a baby. I had to think for a second. And I was like, yeah, hell no. You can't do that when they're fresh out the womb. She's a liar. She's lying her ass off. What the hell's going on here, y'all?
What the fuck is going on here?
She's lying McLiarson.
Yeah. So that helped. So she was just a really good,
like a super easy baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
That's
the like coolest story ever.
That's an interesting way to become a mom, isn't
Right?
it?
Yes, it is. And I can tell you, she straightened out my life for a little bit there.
Right.
Right.
So.
Okay. So after all of this,
Mine had reflux. My babies all had reflux, but I still don't think that like fresh from the hospital they told me to do that. Pretty sure. Yeah, that not fresh out the womb. Like maybe I think they told me to do mine at I want to say 3 months, possibly 2, but like they were some months old before they told me to put cereal in the bottle, and it was because of the acid reflux because they were on medicine that I had to put in their bottle too for the acid reflux. They would like projectile spit up like The Exorcist. Yeah, 4 or 5 months, said Shelby, due to the vomiting, but I was advised not to do that, and I decided to take that risk, but it's not for everyone. Yeah, I had to do a couple of things that weren't for everyone either. 4 months old, otherwise they supposedly use more energy trying to digest it, than they get from it. That makes sense.
I don't know, I'm kind of still in shock at this whole story. After all this, kind of walk me through what happens next.
Hey,
So
Carolina.
after that, after all that happened, then that's when I moved in with Jason 3 months after, because I moved in with him when she was 3 months, and that's when the snowstorm and everything. And then we moved to the Bandelier apartments, and then we moved in with that lady Linda, and then after that, we moved to the. I think we lived with his sister. I'm not exactly sure after that.
Okay.
But then after that, that's when we moved to the Arroyo Villa apartments.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember when that was?
Those were the apartments she was at when Victoria died. Oh, no, no. No, it's baby cereal and it like dissolves in the bottle, but it makes it thicker. But yeah, no, not regular cereal.
I was there for like 4 years, so I believe it was like in 2013. 2012, 2013.
Okay.
around there.
If I remember correctly, you were at a different apartment before, and then you moved?
Yes.
Okay. You
Yes,
remember the first apartment you were at?
We moved in together, me and Jason, we moved into apartment 202.
Okay.
And then after that, that's when we were having difficulties, me and Jason, because he was starting to like verbally abuse me, and like he threw a napkin and he threw a remote at me.
Okay.
So I was like, this needs to stop. And I was like, if it don't, I was like, I'm tired of your verbal abuse. I can't take it anymore, and it's too
Tricks are for kids, but not babies.
much on me. I was like, if you don't stop, I'm
Right,
gonna
Drill, that's
see
it.
that we like separate.
Yep.
Okay.
And he didn't stop. He kept degrading me and everything. And after that, that's when we moved to we moved to a 3-bedroom after that. Or I was in a 3-bedroom. I don't remember exactly. But after that, that's when I moved in by myself, and I moved to apartment 4.
Apartment 4.
Building 4. Building 4. And he moved in with his sister because he had nowhere else to go. And I stayed in the same apartment complex.
Okay. Had your son Matthew arrived by then?
Yes.
Okay.
But with my son, everything was opposite. I got opposite ears. Everything was like the
You
total
knew with
opposite.
him.
Yes.
He made an appearance early.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it was at like 2 o'clock in the morning where I went into labor with him, and we would take him to Presbyterian and had a normal birth with him.
How long was your labor with him?
An hour.
Oh, so quick too, though,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Mhm.
Wow, that is quick.
Yeah. Compared to my mom with me, I think she said she was in labor for like 23 hours. And with my brother, it was like 24 or something like that.
Gosh, you kind of expect to be like your mom, right? And
Yeah.
so you're just like
Yes.
so quick.
Yes.
Do you remember when Matthew arrives? Do you remember where you were living? Which apartment?
Oh, not exactly.
Is that before the 3-bedroom or?
Yeah, it was before the 3-bedroom.
Is that what prompted you to move to the 3-bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, now there's 4 of you.
Yes, because we realized that Victoria needed her own room,
Yeah.
Matthew needed his own room.
How far apart are they?
They were a year and a half.
Okay, so it's close. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they had sibling rivalry, but most of the time they were good kids.
Yeah. Everybody has civil rights.
Yes.
Everybody has
Yes,
that.
they do.
You remember where you're working when all this is going on, when Matthew arrives?
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I was working, I don't remember where.
Okay. Okay.
Because I left the Holiday Inn because I got held at gunpoint.
Oh,
At 2 o'clock in the
you
morning.
got robbed?
Yes, at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was there by myself.
Okay.
So I left there.
Yeah.
I was like, either you change my shift from 7 to 3 or I'm out of here. They didn't want to do it, so I left.
I can't blame you for that. Where'd you go work next?
I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly after that where I went.
Okay.
But I know I did get a job at Buy My Baby.
Okay.
That new store. I helped them build it, and then they decided to keep me based on my work ethic.
Okay.
And so I was there from January of 2014, I believe. And I was there for a year and a couple months.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did. I loved it. I started there, I was the cashier, and then I was working in the stroller department. And then from there, I went to customer service trainee. So it's basically like the person who does orientation for the new employees and everything. So they train the new employees on the products in the store from each department. And it was fun. And I did the cashier training, and then after that, I wound up going into receiving because I wanted better hours. So I went into
With 2 little kids.
Yeah.
You need better hours. I remember those days.
Yes.
And that store's like sort of across town. How did you? Where were Matthew and Victoria during the day? They were still little, right?
Yes.
Before school.
Yes, they were in daycare at the time.
Where'd you send them to daycare?
I
It was
believe
like a little, like a private place or like a little
No, it was
school?
like an actual daycare. It was in Peralta. Me and Jason were living.
Okay.
We lived in a 4-plex there, and the daycare was right across the street.
Okay.
So you could take
Way
that.
down in Peralta?
Yes.
Okay.
It was right in between Bosque Farms.
It does, doesn't it?
Okay. How'd you find that place down there?
Right.
In the newspaper.
Okay. Got out of town, huh?
Yes, it was cheaper. It was a 3-bedroom for $625.
Okay.
Wow. But it was very country.
Is that for the Royal Vias?
Yes.
Okay, so you go from the Friend up in Rio Rancho to Peralta,
Really?
then to Arroyo Views?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. How come you left Peralta?
Because we couldn't afford the rent anymore because it was only my budget, or it was only Jason's budget, because then I wasn't working for a period of time and I was looking for a job. And then I wound up going to Enterprise. It was Enterprise before Bye Bye Baby, but I left Enterprise to go to Bye Bye Baby.
Okay.
And then I just stuck with Bye Bye Baby after that.
Okay. Okay.
Because I worked with Jason at Enterprise for a while.
She was working there too?
Yes.
At the rental company?
Yes, at the airport.
Oh, okay.
So it was very busy.
I was gonna say, I bet that's busy.
I practically did everything over there too. I was a return agent, I was a service agent, I was a shuttler, I was
Nice, I'm busy. So you drove the big shuttle bus?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, you just drove cars around.
Yes, I drove the dirty cars in to be cleaned and then drove the clean cars and parked them to be rented out.
Oh, okay.
So they called that the shuttler.
The shuttle? I thought you drove the big bus.
Oh, no.
Okay. Did you like that?
Yes, I did, because it kept me busy.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of person that needs to like stay busy. I can't like sit in one spot for a long time.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
So
Kind of the exact
I'm
same
used to
way.
the New York hustle and bustle. So.
Do you miss it, New York?
Manhattan, I do.
Do
And
you?
the food.
Do you?
Other than that,
What kind of food do you miss?
the Italian food.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Everything out here has green chili in it.
Even the Italian food.
Yes, it does.
You haven't gotten used to chili yet?
No, I still don't like it.
Oh, you're the only person I know that ever says that.
Well, being in jail, that they feed us green chili and it's like hot. So it's like, if it's too hot for me, I won't eat it.
Okay.
So, but other than that, I'm kind of getting used to it.
Yeah, it grows on you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Abraham, that's funny. Sorry if I coughed just now. Sorry if I was unmuted. That's funny that you would do that to your cousins, take their milk. Some of mine did that to each other, and I had to start putting the baby formula up. I just can't get over, like, I mean, I know they need to get the background, and they're trying to make her be as cooperative as humanly possible, but like it's so aggravating knowing what she did and what happened while the child was under her care. Anna says, laugh away, bish. And Tammy says, I'm judging you. I am judging you. Everything is green in jail. It is. Them green bologna sandwiches. I hope she gets used to it. She won't have any of that chili in there, though. Y'all won't believe this story. So, as kids, me and my cousins would sneak into my uncle's basement, and we found a big bag of that powdered milk, and it's good because it's sweet. Are you talking about the I don't know, it's a Spanish brand, and it's like in a big yellow like container. I only know I had never seen it before I got with Mr. Speculating, and when I got with Mr. Speculating, the youngest child was 2 months old. And he was doing the best he could with the children, but he had help from like neighbors, and his ex had left not too long before that. Anyway, we were going to the store and we were out of formula, and I was going to buy some, and he was like, look, you can just get this, we can just get this, and it's that yellow, it's a Spanish brand of like milk, but it's not for infants. And I was like, are you out of your mind? You cannot give that to a baby. It's the funniest thing. So he like loves that yellow milk, and we would give it to them when they were like toddlers, to kind of help from spending so much money on actual like 2% milk, because they're all really skinny, not as in malnourished. They just have like super high metabolisms and ADHD and ABCDFG, so like they burn fat really quickly, and they would go through a lot of milk, so we would get that container. But it was just so funny that he was trying to give it, it's Netto, that's it. He was trying to give it to like a 2-month-old baby, and I was like, no, stop. He said, why that milk? He said, I don't know why milk was there until a few years later, and I realized it's because they would cut the cocaine with it. Oh my God. That's crazy. Abraham growing up in a house of the cartel. Abraham got cartel relations. That's crazy. That is insane to me. Wow.
It does.
Okay. So you're at the Rovias. You have both.
Oh my gosh. I need to take a drink of my drink. I keep coughing. Oh my gosh. Jacqueline, good to see you. It's disturbing. She talks like she's a great person and mother. And we know that she's not. Like, at the very least, there was SA going on under her roof. You can't make me believe that she didn't know about it. Yeah, they got all of the things. Bless them. But it was that Netto stuff. We would give it to him when they were like, about 3 or 4 and stuff. But he was trying to give it to an infant, and I said, I don't think you're supposed to be doing that. And he was like, oh no, and I said, no, we got to buy the expensive formula. I realized that, no joke, like 5 years ago. That's when I was like, that was okay. I thought you were saying 5 years ago you were 8 or 9. I was like, well, you damn sure don't need to be here for this case. But that happened when you were 8 or 9, and it took you until about 5 years ago to realize that. It does taste good. They liked it.
Kids, and things are not going well
That's crazy.
with Jason, is what it sounds like. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Walk me through how it kind of splits up.
Well, with him verbally abusing me, and then he threw the remote at me, and I wasn't going to take it anymore. And I told him, I was like, I can't take this. I was like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore. And he just didn't want to get the point. So he started crying. I started crying. And the kids were in school at this time. So we were just like talking to each other. And we finally split up. And then he went to his sister's, and I went to building 4, apartment 403, I believe it was, or 404.
Okay. How long did you stay there?
I stayed there till my lease was up, and then I moved to a 3-bedroom because the 3 bedrooms were cheaper than the 2 bedrooms. Yeah.
Okay, hang on. The 3 bedroom is cheaper than the 2 bedroom?
Yes, my 2 bedroom I was paying $795. So then they had like a special going on, I guess, or it was like that time of the year where the 3 bedrooms don't get rented out that often.
Okay.
And it was only $785.
Okay.
So I moved to the 3 bedroom, which was building 8, which was right across.
Okay. So each of you got your own bedroom?
Yes.
Okay, that make it nice?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Because in the 2 bedroom, the 404 or 403 was a 2 bedroom, so I was sharing a room with my daughter, and then my son had his own room.
Okay. Okay. So make it, when you moved into 3 bedrooms, was it nicer?
Yes.
Okay. Did things calm down after you guys split up?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Why is that funny? You said you were getting abused. He asked if it calm down, and you yes and no and start laughing. Curious Christine pointed out that she's not a deep thinker, very surface thoughts, like no reflecting, it seems. I agree. Yeah, $795 to $795. Now, don't get me wrong, $795 for a 3-bedroom instead of a 2-bedroom is good. I mean, I probably would have moved too, but I don't know. Yeah, she's very simple-minded, but yet she's got some kind of online certificate and can do medical billing and coding. Like, that's crazy.
Calm down until I filed for child support.
Okay.
And then everything started up again.
Started back up?
Yes.
Okay, I can see how that could happen. So.
Yes.
Did you guys finally work through all that though?
And yes, because it's like every time I would ask him for money for Matthew to get him like a haircut or to get him clothes, and he would give me a hard time about it. And that's what made me go for the child support.
Okay.
Because if he would have just given me like maybe $50 just to like take care of him, I wouldn't even file the child support. And then once I filed the child support, we went to court and everything was set in stone. Then he was like, can't we talk this out? Can I give you this? And I was like, now you want to do it? I said, no. I was like, now it's required. You have to give it to me. And if you don't, that's on you.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Did it finally settle down to where it became workable?
Somewhat.
Okay.
Somewhat. Because he had his visitations on his Tuesdays and Wednesdays with his son.
Good to see you, love.
Okay.
And Thursday mornings. And most of the other times he was with me.
Okay. Matthew was?
Yes.
Okay. Would you start back working then when you guys moved to the 3-bedroom?
Sorry.
In building 8?
Yes, that's when I was working at Bye Bye Baby.
Okay.
After that, because I was there for quite a while.
Okay. So tell me how's things going in the 3-bedroom?
Fine and dandy, everything's all, Victoria's all happy she had her own room. She's like, I get my privacy, and I'm like, thanks, Victoria. And then she gave me a hug after that. She was like, I'm sorry, Mommy, and I'm like, okay, it's okay. And then Matthew was all excited to have his own room again.
I bet.
Because they each got to decorate their own room, like different ways, because I would leave it like one way, like a couple months, and then another way a couple months, and then I'm like, okay, if you guys keep it this way, and if you want it changed another way, if you're good and if you keep your room clean, we'll change it again. And sometimes they did.
Yeah.
But most of the time They did pretty good on keeping their rooms clean.
Were they pretty good at keeping
Yes.
the rooms clean?
Especially when Nana came over.
Okay, I bet.
So,
Good.
so yeah.
So you're working at Bye Bye Baby.
Mhm.
Things are going along pretty good. Where are the kids going to school?
Petroglyph Elementary.
Petroglyph? Okay. How's that going for everybody? They like school?
Yes. Victoria would love school. She made a whole bunch of friends, but I didn't realize how many friends she had until all this happened. And it was like she was just a loved child by everybody. Even if they didn't know her, she was.
That's what I understand.
Yeah. So.
See, there she talks about how well loved she was in the community and by everyone around her. And I feel like, unfortunately, Victoria was probably very mature for her age because of what she was going through and trying to keep things like somewhat normal while living with her mother.
And Matthew, how was he like in school?
He
Okay,
was
thank
getting
you.
bullied a lot. And he had like kind of problems with like soiling his pants a lot and peeing his pants. And I think that's mainly because of the bullying that was going on with him. That was making him do that. And I've had constant like conversations with the principal and saying if it don't stop, I'm gonna have to take it further. And then finally it did stop, and then he was getting bullied on the bus. So I was like, he'd get papers thrown at him, and since he wore glasses, they were making fun of him, calling him a nerd, and this and that. And poor Matthew, he was like, I don't want to go on the bus, Mommy. He's like, I don't want to go on the bus. And I'm like, okay, I'll take you to school this time. Except for when I had to be at work early. If I had to be at work early, I'd ask my mom if she could like either put them on the bus or take them to school, whichever one they wanted. So she was there to help me out, because by this time my mom and dad were living in Mexico.
Okay.
They've been here for about 3.5 years, or something like that.
Okay. What prompted them to come here?
Grandkids.
It's always that, isn't it?
Yes, that, and plus I was struggling a little bit financially, so they came.
Quickly, I wanted to let you know the case that we talked about a little bit last night, the Amari Jones case, where the 8, 9, and 10-year-old brutally assaulted the little 5-year-old girl in the field and pulled her braids out of her hair to where she was like bald on top of her head. There has been an arrest made in that. I will pull it up and give you a brief on it as we kind of listen to this, so that we can, get through it and try to understand exactly what happened that night with Victoria. We'll go over it, or I'll pull the article up and we'll go over it before we close out for the day. I think that would be a better idea.
Not here to help me to try and set a budget and everything, so that way I can get my bills paid and rent paid, and instead of going on spending sprees. But most of my money went towards the kids.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, they didn't need certain stuff, but it's like because I wanted to and they were good. Like during the week at school, I would spend my money on them. And my parents, they were like, you can't do that. You need your money for your bills. And
What kind of things did you buy for them?
I bought their clothes. I bought them like toys. Like if they were good at school, I would buy them like a toy at the end of the week.
Would you like take them to the store and let them pick it out?
Yep, we'd go to Walmart. That was our favorite place to go. Because Toys R Us was too expensive for me. So we went to Walmart in the discount place, and they got either a coloring book, a toy, or whatever, or I'd take them out to eat or get them whatever they wanted.
What were their favorite things to eat?
My daughter was Sonic, the mozzarella sticks.
Oh, yes.
And
me too. What about Matthew?
McDonald's.
Yeah.
All guys like McDonald's.
Yeah. I think it's because of the play places.
Oh yeah, you like the fries?
I love the fries.
Yeah, everyone loves McDonald's
I
fries.
love the fries.
I hate to admit it, but everybody does.
It's like I'll order something from Sonic or whatever restaurant, and I won't get the fries just because I go to McDonald's to get them.
Right. Everything else is a disappointment, right?
Yep. Because even when I was in New York, I would go to White Castle and I would get like the chicken wings, the burgers, and everything. And then on my way back, I'd go to McDonald's, pick up the fries, and then go.
Yeah, I hate to admit it too. I like McDonald's.
They're good, but they're not good for you.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well,
that's all how you look at it.
But then I gradually stopped eating it because I watched that documentary, Super Size Me, and I stopped it. And I tried to not feed my kids that much McDonald's anymore, but they loved it too much.
Yeah.
And
I know this is just the buzz basically before we get to the meat and potatoes of the situation. I don't know necessarily that they were arrested. The article is titled Two Children Ages 9 and 10 Charged with Attempted Homicide, RAPE, and Brutal Attack on 5-year-old Girl, prosecutors say. And it says that the 9-year-old boy and 10-year-old girl are facing charges of attempted homicide, RAPE, felonious assault, kidnapping, and strangulation. I'm not seeing arrest yet, but I am going to share this and we'll go over it when we're done with going over her interview, however much we get done today. Anna said, yes, probably Victoria was the adult. Great point. Poor thing. I know. No child that age should. I mean, she knew to come home, get off the bus, and just play outside on her scooter until her mom got back. Like, how long had that been going on? Like, she would be a better auntie than mom. She cared, but lacked the mom skills. Oh, yeah, I could see that. I realized that you were talking about Michelle. Right. Yeah. I could definitely see that. I wouldn't believe her if her tongue became notarized, said Abraham. Oh, my Lord. Athena, good to see you. She hasn't matured past the age of 12. The mom. I agree. I agree. Dear Lord. Hope she wasn't hoping to travel with those bags under her eyes. She would be charged for extra luggage. I think that's where her eye was still black from Jessica hitting her. Yeah, I'm glad that they got those kids held accountable, and I hope they get the help they need. You know what I mean?
And ever since they started putting like healthy food in the Happy Meals, like the yogurt and the oranges, and I was like, okay, the fries are like this big now in the Happy Meals.
Yeah, we got a little better. What kind of foods did the kids like?
They liked my cooking when I made chicken cutlets, pork chops, and.
How about fruit and vegetables? Were they
They were getting there. They were getting there. Victoria was just starting to like broccoli.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
She liked fruit?
Yeah, she loves fruit. She loves apple, bananas, oranges.
Okay. Would she take snacks to school with her?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Not good ones sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Like chips.
Chips and stuff?
Yeah.
Did they give snacks at school at Petriquid? I mean, like, it's been out so long. Okay.
I think they do.
Okay, like a midday snack or something like
Yes.
that. Would she, with both the kids, would they take sack lunches like my kids used to do, or would they just eat at school?
Sometimes they would eat at school, but I would give them the sack lunches, especially because they had lunch boxes. So they were all happy about their lunch boxes with their thermoses.
What kind of lunch boxes they have?
Victoria had Frozen and Matthew had Spider-Man.
Of course.
So I would pack them a lunch just in case if they didn't want the hot lunch, because I would get free hot lunches because of my budget and my income, because I was on food stamps too and I was on Medicaid.
Okay.
So I basically fed them, I gave them the lunch and they decided if they wanted to eat.
So they have a choice?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
Because usually Victoria didn't like the hot lunch, but sometimes she did. So I was like, here, take it just in case if you don't like it, you could eat it, or you could eat it as a snack and then eat your lunch for something else or whatever.
Okay. That's not a bad deal at all.
No, it's not.
Not a bad deal at all.
Nope.
Okay, so what goes on next? It sounds like you're getting things worked out with Jason.
Yes.
The kids are doing pretty good at school. Did things settle down for Matthew?
That comes from homeschooling, Abraham.
And the bullying, does it finally get better?
A little bit, but a little bit.
That is.
A little bit. I didn't have to go back to school again to stop it, so it got squashed at the school at least.
Did he seem to be doing better?
Yes.
Okay,
Because
that's
then
good.
I believe Jason spoke to the bus driver about him being bullied on the bus, and I don't know how that went.
Good. I'm glad Jason talked to him.
Yes, because I was like, don't let me go talk to him.
Sometimes it's best to do it that way.
Yeah, because he's like, I get upset very easily. Like if they tell me he's being bullied, I'm like, what? I'm gonna go talk to the school right now. Jason was like, you can't do that. They're like, you have to go talk to them in a calm manner. I'm like, okay.
But they're your kids, though.
Yeah, they're her kids. Like, you knew that somebody had tried, at least attempted to assault Victoria. And we found out later that she was being SA'd, but yet you're like a bulldog of a mama when it comes to somebody bullying your child. But all this shit happened under your watch with Victoria? Again, no, absolutely not. How can she be so happy? Great freaking question. In the Daisy case, how long did they deliberate? About an hour. About an hour. I could not believe it. I do love me some chicken nuggets and baconators. They are good, but I saw some studies on the French fries and the chicken nuggets specifically, and I can't. We don't eat out. We did eat out last night, but that's because I was driving so late. And the last time we ate out before last night was actually, since I've been doing YouTube, I've been eating out more. But the last time before that was about 3 months ago, and we had cookout because they're using tallow in the fries, which is better for you. But we don't eat out very much. I cook usually because a lot of that stuff's really bad for you. Try to be good with the kids. I don't have a microwave either. As crazy as that sounds. Cosplaying as a dutiful mom. Absolutely maddening, said Tammy. I agree. Listening to her laughing and talking about her kids makes you get angry. Yeah, me too. Because she's talking about how, protective she was over them. Meanwhile, Victoria's been SA'd over and over and over again to the point that she has an STD and you didn't know shit. And that was before the night of the homicide. Like, it seemed like the way the autopsy was presented well before the night of the homicide. So I need you to stop it.
Exactly, and he didn't understand that.
Yeah, they're
And he didn't understand that. So I was just like, you come with me then.
You're doing exactly what a good mother does.
Thank you.
You're sticking up for those kids. That's what you're supposed to do. You're like the mama bear.
Yes.
Don't mess
And
with
they
my
depend
cats.
on me, and it's like if they tell me something, I'm expected from them to get it squashed or at least handled,
That's exactly right. That's
So,
exactly right.
and Jason, he didn't believe in disciplining the kids.
Okay.
And me, on the other hand, I discipline them.
Well, you have to.
Yes, I spanked them, and Jason would yell at me every time I spanked Matthew. And I think he favored Matthew a little more than Victoria, but I favored Victoria a little more than I did Matthew, but I loved them both the same.
Yeah.
I loved them both the same, but it's because Victoria was older, so she knew more better than Matthew did.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was telling Victoria, I was like, you can't be doing this, and this, because Matthew's gonna see you doing it, he's gonna think it's okay, so you have to be a role model for Matthew. To show him what's right and wrong too. I was like, you gotta help me out here. And she did a pretty good job at that. She was like the baby cover. And so she would help me take care of Matthew.
That's great.
Even when he was born, it's like she would feed him. I would let her feed him and sit on the couch. And
she was little, too, right?
Yeah, she was. I'd let her sit on the couch.
Well, right. And she didn't carry him around. But
yeah,
that's amazing.
So she would sit there, and I would sit right next to her, and she would be feeding him.
Aww.
So she would help me.
Because she acted more like an adult than the old mother did, in my opinion. Hey, Glitter is forever. My mother is very narcissistic, and in front of people, she acts a lot like Michelle. They learn to say things that make them look above average in every situation, that giggle. That's interesting. I don't know. She could be narcissistic. She's off in some ways. Michelle is one to study for the books, I think. It's aggravating to listen to her laugh. It really is, isn't it, Mustang? It really is. And it makes me furious because, everybody in that room, as well as all of us here, knows what happened to Victoria to an extent. And we're just, I get trying to keep her talking about all of the things, but this too much, in my opinion. Did you say you don't have a microwave? Yeah, I don't have a microwave. I like cooking, but it's the dishes after I literally hate them bitches dishes. Yeah, I don't like doing the dishes either. I do the dinner dishes, like what I used to cook, but the kids have to do their own dishes that they eat off of and stuff like that, and they have chores, so it helps. It helps. I hated the dishes for a long time too. Oh, look. Twinsies, said Abraham. That's Fabian. So you get to see him there. He had a black eye too from his cousin Jessica.
With almost everything.
That's great.
Everything. And that's just the way I raised her. It's and what snapped in her mind, I was like, well, if you start helping me a little more now, I'll start giving you allowance.
So she was really on board.
Yes. And then since then, I taught her how to do laundry. I taught her how to do the dishes.
Wow.
And she was doing laundry. She would get a step stool and she would do the colors with the whites. And
she knew all that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And she was like, Mommy, is this right? And then she's like, how much detergent do I put in there? And I was like, I mean, I'll put it in there. I was like, yeah, you can put that in there. And she'll put it in there and put it around. And she'd do laundry, she'd do the dishes. And
Wow.
she was awesome.
My kids like that.
And sometimes I've noticed when kids like that are that young that get up and want to clean and want to do things, it's because the house is a freaking mess and they are the type of people that don't like living in a messy house. So the kids will take on the responsibility of the mom and start cleaning the freaking house. She may be slightly autistic, or maybe she has a TBI or something. She's definitely cognitively impaired to a degree. I agree, Miss North. Sometimes circumstances are such we have to. You're good, Mama. What? I didn't have a microwave till I became homeless, and it was the only way to feed my kids. I very rarely use it. Yeah, I'm sorry that happened to you, and I'm sorry that you're going through that. I hope you didn't take offense to it because I didn't mean it in that type of way. You do whatever you got to do to take care of your children. That's a horrible thing, and I'm so sorry you're going through that. I know you probably know about like communities and churches and things that will help you with that until you can get back on your feet. And there's programs. I went to a homeless shelter when I was living that life. It was actually what got me clean. We went to the homeless shelter and I stopped using drugs and got away from all that. But it was called a rescue mission, and you went there and then you were there for like a couple of months so they could make sure you were going to stay in the program. And then you got to go to school during the day, and like while you were there the first couple of months you had a chore. So I started in the kitchen, but they found out that I had worked in daycares, and so they put me in the daycare facility and I would help take care of the other women's children during the day while they did work and things like that. And then afterwards, like, 4 or 5 months in, you get to go take classes and learn about the Bible during the day. And if you stayed there for like 2 years, they would help you get a job, basically show you how to do a resume and help you get a job in the community, through the community. And then they would put you in an apartment that they paid for, and then, kind of help you get back out there to where you could be self-sufficient again. Have you looked into any things like that where you're at? If not, that would definitely be something to look into. I know they would help. I read that. I'm going to say, Abraham said, it just makes me want to give her a matching patch for the other eye. Right, Abraham? You really do. You just want to smack her in the face. Cindy said, I'm going to say, my opinion, discipline does not have to be physically hitting children. I agree with that. She is disgusting, Pillowas. It was a gift. I think my friend thought I needed one. We got our forever home in February. We're all good now. That's amazing, Julianne. I'm so glad to hear that. There's a place that I go to. I forget what it's called, but it supports Habitat. The Habitat for Humanity. If you have one of those in your area, they'll have things for sale there, like food processors. I got a food processor for $3. And then the money you spend there goes to the organization which builds houses for families in need, which I think is an awesome thing. They also, the one here where I live at is really, really good. Like they'll have antiques and stuff in there for sale. I've gotten a lot of antiques from that one because I have a very fondness for antiques. My youngest can barely get out of his blanket burritos in position. We do baby them, don't we? I couldn't bring myself to ask where it was bought for a store credit. Someday someone will say, I need a microwave. Here you go. Absolutely. Absolutely. You can donate it to the Habitat too. And you can make donations there too. And they'll either stay in the store or it'll go to a family to help decorate their house and get it ready for them to move in with their children. It's pretty cool.
You did a great job. My kids aren't like that.
But yeah, she would help me clean the house. Like while I'm vacuuming, she would be.
That's a good way to be, Abraham.
Something, and then Matthew would be cleaning his room.
I'm super happy for you, Julie, too.
And stuff. So I keep them busy.
It's like you did a tremendous job with those two kids.
Yes.
It's something to be really proud about.
Thank you.
Really proud. Okay, so after we're to the point now where Jason's kind of moved out. You've settled down in, is it apartment 808?
Yes.
3-bedroom?
Yes.
You've settled down, the kids are going to school, things are
Oh,
going.
yeah.
So start walking me through how things go.
It
What
is.
happens next?
Okay, so things were going, I guess you can say like I kind of got lonely being by myself when the kids were at school and stuff like that. So I decided to start looking for another boyfriend.
Okay.
And
Which is natural. That's
Yeah.
that's what you're supposed to do.
yeah,
You gotta fulfill your life.
yes,
There's nothing wrong with that.
no.
Okay.
So I met David Hernandez. I worked.
Okay, I'm not trying to pause it too much, okay, but I just noticed the way he said that. She talks about looking for another boyfriend, and he's like, and that's natural. You need to fulfill your life. You need to be happy. Now keep in mind at this point, I don't think they necessarily know that she was lying. Like all of that doesn't come out until after this plea deal hearing when Fabian's in court that she was lying because she's a quote unquote people pleaser. So at this point, they're still under the impression that she was meeting guys on Plenty of Fish, having them come over to abuse her daughter while she watched them abuse her daughter because she took pleasure from watching her daughter be in pain. So it's interesting to me that when she talks about boyfriends, they're like, yeah, you need to have a boyfriend. It's a natural thing. Like just keeping her talking about it. And I know they need to keep her talking about it, but like it's an odd dynamic to listen to with them thinking, or as far as I know, they're under the impression that she was meeting men specifically to abuse Victoria. We don't have a Habitat for Humanity, but we have a homeless charity that's very similar. Furnished my son's room from there. That's awesome, Julie. That's really awesome, and I'm super happy for you. That's amazing. I'm so glad that you got your forever home. It's like nails on a chalkboard. If she just protected them from psychotic predators, she would be a super mom with a cape and everything. I agree. I always said that if someone just drops in all of a sudden, which it never happens anyway. I like to clean though and do laundry and organize. Hate taking the trash out. Yep, plenty of fish. Plenty of fish back then. It goes to homeless right here in my little town of 3,500. That's awesome. I love to donate to places like that. There's also a place up the road. It's a homeschool co-op thing, and that's a really cool idea. They take in donations, and you can go there and you can get whatever you want, however much of it that you need, and it's completely free. If you need clothes for your kids, they have clothes, some house items, like, little decorations for your house, clothes for everybody, shoes for everybody in the family, toys, all the things. And you can get however much of you want for free. They just ask if you have anything you want to get rid of, you donate there. So my storage unit has a whole bunch of homeschool books that I'm going to take up there and donate.
With him at Bye Bye Baby. I trained
we
him
moved.
at Bye Bye Baby, but he wasn't there long. For what reason, I don't know.
Okay.
They wouldn't tell me because
That's what she said in the original interview, and I'm wondering if the DA is still under the impression that she met men online who come to SA her daughter. Yes, ma'am.
it's confidential, so.
Okay.
But
Hey, Crystal.
he gave me his phone number to keep in contact
about
with
the
him,
baby.
so I didn't call him for a while. He's the one who called me first, and I guess he just got out of, like, not out of prison, but like out of jail, and I guess he had a warrant out for him, and I didn't think of anything, and I let him stay at my house.
Okay. This is the apartment?
808.
808, okay.
And he was good for a while. He wasn't working or anything like that. And then my daughter and my son loved him to death. And it's like he would take my kids to go, like he would take them to the park, he would take them like to go jogging, or he would take them to the gym to go swimming in the swimming pool over there, because he was a member of Sports and Wellness.
Okay.
And he would take them to go swimming and stuff like that. So, but he was mainly like around Victoria a lot, which, I mean, I didn't think anything of it, and I thought he was just being nice, and Victoria seemed to be having a good time, so I didn't think anything of it. So then he was with me for about, I believe, 6 months. I don't remember exactly how long he was with me.
Okay.
And Victoria went and told my mom that in the middle of the night he would try and sneak into her room. And
Could you imagine Victoria having to go through that at that age? And this man, it's see, it bothers me because you hear these stories and all the men are like, they're like, oh, he was great with the kids. He would take them to the park. He took them swimming. He took them jogging. And then you find out, stop it. I'm having a very real conversation. You're not real enough for this conversation. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But you find out that the people, the predators are the ones who are like spending time with the children and making them feel special. And it's like you don't want to look at every man like that. But then when a good man comes into your life that genuinely is trying to spend time with the children, you have to question it because we hear all these stories where they're doing that just so they can prey on the children. You know what I mean?
because Victoria went with my mom that night, because sometimes my mom would watch the kids while I go to work. And Victoria didn't say anything to me, because I guess she thought that I would yell at her, so I don't know why she wouldn't say anything to me. And my mom told me, like, is David trying to go into her room in the middle of the night? I was like, not that I know of. I was like, every time I wake up in the morning, he's right next to me. And he was like, well, that's what Victoria's telling me. And then it's like, right after that, I was like, I asked him, I confronted him about it. And he was like, I wasn't trying to go in her room. I was like, well, that's not what my daughter's saying, and I have to take my daughter's side on this. I was like, you need to leave. I was like, you need to leave. I can't have this in my house. So he left. And my daughter was upset at first, but then she got all happy. It's like whenever I mentioned his name, he was like, I can't stand him. I was like, why? And she still didn't tell me. So, but I knew the reason why from my mom, because she told my mom. And then after that, I met, I believe it was Jason, like another Jason, but I called him Jay because I couldn't stand the name Jason.
No, I was picking on Mr. Speculating because he just got paid and he come in waving money saying it's hot in here. So I was picking on him. He ain't gonna give me none of his money to go shopping with. He said, Abraham said, I have so much art supplies I don't use for my crafting that I would like to give away. Papers, markers, color pencils. If anyone has any children or grandchildren, let me know. You could donate them too, to like, those places like I was just talking about, Habitat and all kinds of things like that. Even a school maybe, depending on what you have, Sharing is caring. You are very sweet. That was very sweet. She didn't call the cops. Good question, Abellis. Basil's attacking his overalls.
Jason's
Yeah.
Country boy
Yeah,
overalls.
and he was nice, and he had a daughter too, so my daughter would go play with his daughter. Again, then she goes being the mother to, because she was only 2. His daughter was like 2, so she would like play with her and stuff like that. And while I would hang out with Jason and everything, but I would keep an eye on her because we would go to his pool, because his pool had a jacuzzi and everything. So we were in there and we just had a good old time, like over at his place, and he would cook for us and everything. So after that, that's when I met Joshua, I forgot his last name, but it was Josh. I didn't see him for long.
Okay.
I think it was only like maybe a month or 2. I don't remember how long I saw him, but I wasn't with him, but he would just like come over my house and basically intercourse or whatever. But it was
check with the daycares
and then it's like then he left, and then I still felt like I needed somebody there because I didn't feel like I was dependable enough to do it myself. And it's like I felt like I needed the companionship to be there to like support me and stuff like that, because I've always been degraded and people telling me you can't do this, you can't do that, you look like a horse, you get tinsel teeth and this and that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And because I got bullied too, so I know how my son feels. And but now I realize that those are just words. Those are just words.
But she's laughing again when she's talking about her being bullied. So I guess it's a nervous laugh, but it's still odd and out of place, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? So many boyfriends. I agree. Yeah, why can't you live without a man? Great questions, y'all. It's infuriating. It is. And to know that she just got out on Tuesday, like she only did 12 years for this.
They can't hurt me, so
Good.
I'm a
Less
lot
than,
stronger when it
actually.
comes to stuff like that now, and that's why I get so irritated when it comes to my kids being bullied. So, and Jason didn't see that, so it was just like from then on, it's like mine and Jason's. We tried to talk, and it would always come into an argument, and so then after Josh, that's when I met Baby. I met him on Plenty of Fish, along with Jay and Josh.
So walk me through.
Michelle. The chains are rattling down.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. We said every now and then we'll remind you. So.
The last interview I listened to with Rich, he was clicking his pen on
Oh, it was so
the
bad.
whole interview. I'm like,
I never let myself have a clicky cut. So I was actually reviewing the interview, and I could hear this clicking. So I'm trying to do the transcript. I'm like, who is clicking the interview? As I'm saying that, I'm clicking the pin, realizing it was me. It was
I
me.
do that too now. I'm just.
Oh, I
you don't
know.
even think about it.
No.
You just
No,
do it.
it's just, we all do that. We all have certain things we do, and it's just, and every now and then I need to be reminded, so no big deal. So I'm a little bit older, as you can see.
Yeah.
I've never done these dating sites. So tell me what Plenty of Fish is. Just how.
It's
what
a
is
dating site. It's you go on there and it's like I didn't pay for it, so I only have limited access. I can send messages to them, and they can send messages to me, but I can't actually. It's like I could look at their profile, but it'll only show me like a certain things on their profile.
Okay.
Because I was a limited customer.
They wanted to reel you in?
Yes.
Okay, to get the full profile.
So yeah, okay. Mrs. North said, if you ask me any persons whose mom repeatedly did that, they'd say there was a lot wrong with the men and the short-term bonds created are harmful to children. I agree. It is. You're not protecting your children. And then your children can get attached to these men, and then all of a sudden they're not there. And it does make it easier for predators to enter your life. Snarky said she's got a big problem with the term being bullied, but go ahead and have your way with them. That's fine. In my opinion, good Lord. Yeah. And she claims to not know, but like, I have a hard time believing she didn't know. Again, there's like no common sense, but I still don't think she didn't know. A lot of it very costly, so I'd like them to go to an age range that would make better use of them. Those little daycare angels prefer crowns and face paint. That's true. You can, I don't know. I'll think about it and get back to you, Abraham. Kat said, so like soda makes me physically sick. These desperate women. I agree. Mm-hmm. At least he realized about the bloody pin clicking. That shit is annoying. Jenny Jen said, no ma'am. Christine said, that's wonderful. My son needs to pick out gifts or his old toys before Christmas to make room for the new. No child needs to hoard all the fun toys, I told him. Now he does that with his kid. That's super cool. Plenty of pedophiles was okay, but Plenty of T-Rex was scary. Yep. I'm a very compassionate person. No sympathy here. No man comes before your child. I agree. I can see that, Mrs. North. I can see that. Absolutely. I agree, Curious. Middle school and high school, Abraham, they don't get funding and need supplies. That's true. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
But I never paid for it.
Okay.
At least I don't think I did.
Okay.
And then it's just like a dating site that I met those three guys. They were like completely different.
Okay.
They're completely different. So, and then I didn't think anything was gonna go anywhere with Jay, and I thought we were just gonna stay friends and stuff. But then after coming to realize, after I met Fabian, I realized that he started to like me more and stuff. So
Okay.
I was.
Walk me through Fabian. Do you remember when you would have met him on Plenty of Fish?
It had to be. I don't remember the exact months, but it had to be like June, maybe
Okay.
May, June.
Okay.
Because
Now, Fabian is the one that was there the night Victoria was homicided, and Jessica is Fabian's cousin. So we're getting into the details of this horrific homicide now.
No, it was before my birthday.
Okay. When's your birthday?
July 14th.
July 14th? Okay. So it's before July 14th?
Yes.
Okay.
And I met him. He seemed like a really nice guy. And it's like, I think it's because I couldn't see his full profile. I decided to like go meet him and to see how he is and stuff. So I drove to, he said it was his brother's house over there in the southwest off of Arenal and Unser.
Okay.
Over there.
Do you remember which brother?
Oh, I don't remember his name. And I went there and I picked him up and then took him back to my house.
Okay.
And we didn't do anything. We were just sitting there talking and talking. And he wound up spending the night and he left the next morning. I took him to, I don't remember where I took him to, but it was some girl's house that he knew, and I took him over there. It's on the same side of town that where his brother is at. It's like right around the corner.
Okay.
Over there.
From your apartment?
No, from his brother's house.
Okay, down in the South Valley?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
What kind of things did you guys talk about that first day? Like, how was it?
Just like what we like to do and like trying to get to know each other basically.
All first date kind of like topics?
Yeah, and he seemed like an okay guy, and so I was like, okay, I'll give this a chance. And then he was like, well.
But why did you bring him to the apartment immediately? She knew. I've seen the other part. She knew and watched. Well, Miss North, that's what's said in the original interviews. Now, this is after that happened. This is the plea deal interview because they say that she was lying during where she admitted to knowing and watching. She moved Fabian into her apartment fairly quickly once they started dating. And it's interesting to hear that their first date was held at her apartment with the kids there, at least Victoria. And she just brings him over there.
You're not normally my type that I would go out with. He's like, but I'll give it a try. I was like, okay.
Did he tell you what does that mean? What was his type? Did he tell you or?
He didn't. I didn't ask his type. No, because I was guessing maybe his type was like the more attractive girls, like the model looking type, you know.
What did you like about him?
Just that he had a lot of compassion towards me, and I would always just say to myself that I'm ugly, and he was like, no, you're not, and he would just lift my spirits, and it's like the things he said, and he would help me out with the kids and stuff. So he seemed really nice.
He was a supportive person.
Yes, yes.
Okay. What would he do with the kids?
Well, I never left him alone with Victoria. I was always with him when he was with Victoria.
Okay.
And we would go, like, I would take him to the park, and he would come for a little while, but then he was like, I'm bored, I want to go. And I'm like, but my kids, they're playing. He was like, but I want to go back to the house. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, Victoria, Matthew, let's go. So they were, I don't want to leave, I don't want to leave. I was like, I'll take you swimming if we go. And they're like, okay, okay. So we went back to the house, and he wound up staying in the house, and I took the kids to the swimming pool that was across from my building.
You said you never left him with Victoria. Was that because of any reason or?
No, I was protective over Victoria. So after that incident with David, I didn't trust leaving Victoria with any guy.
So you were careful of that, got your guard up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And did you tell anybody about what your mom told you about David?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Do you remember talking to, I think your pediatrician and letting them know?
Well, yeah, because after that, I actually took her to the pediatrician, and I had her tested to see if anything happened, like, during that time, and she got tested, and it came back negative.
Okay.
So
after your mother told you that David was trying to sneak into Victoria's room?
Yes.
That's when you took her to the pediatrician?
Yes, and my mom came with me at that time.
Okay.
So if that indeed did happen, yet the autopsy was done and they said that she had a disease of some sort that had been there for some time, then who was SA and Victoria? Because they admitted that David did, and they said that David Hernandez, her boyfriend before Fabian, had hurt Victoria and Matthew. But yet she takes him to the doctor and nothing, they don't find anything? I don't understand how that happens.
And Matthew too?
No, not Matthew. Not Matthew.
You never took him to get tested?
No, he was with his father.
Okay. Was there any time that Matthew was alone with David?
No, not really.
Okay. That's why you were concerned about just your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mainly because she was pretty, you know, and it's like, no.
Okay. So you sounds like you even got more protective.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what the pediatrician, what you guys told her about? Did your mom talk to her? Or?
Well, my mom is the one that actually brought it up because I would have gotten like mad. Because once I start getting mad, my legs start shaking and my hands starting to get sweaty.
Yeah,
and I was like,
shit.
you tell him, and then the pediatrician also asked me questions.
Okay.
And yeah, I told her that, yeah, I'm going to go with what she's telling me because I've never seen it, but I'm going to believe my daughter.
Right.
And that's when she actually tested her and she said, no, she's not punctured or anything like that.
Did they do an exam on her?
Yes,
Okay.
they did.
Yeah, see, that's a lot different, Julianne, than meeting somebody on Plenty of Fish, like for the first time and having them in your house around your kids. That's a problem for me. You know what I mean? I would think that you would meet like somewhere, you know, like, I don't know, even a fast food place before you just bring them home and let them spend the night at your house. You know what I mean? One sunny day said, I blame Stephen Stearns. I agree with that. I blame him for everything. Can we just blame him for everything? Pretty much, yeah. Plenty of Fish is a hookup site. Yeah, pretty much. Curious, Christine.
Full exam, and they explained to her everything that she was doing so she don't like.
She wasn't
tense.
nervous.
Yes.
Okay. Did Victoria, I know it's a tough question, I'm sorry, did Victoria ever tell you that David did anything?
No, she wouldn't, and I don't know why. I'm guessing maybe it's because she thought that I would yell at her or if she would be in trouble. So I think she found more comfort in talking to my mom.
Okay. Did your mom ever tell you, give you details of what David could have done to
No.
Victoria? Just that he was trying to sneak into the room?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's all I knew.
Do you think that your mom maybe knew more and she didn't want to tell you?
Usually my mom tells me everything, but I don't know.
Okay, just don't know.
I don't know, because me and my mom are really close.
Okay.
So it's like,
So Victoria never disclosed to you?
no.
Okay, but she sounds like a really strong girl.
She was.
Okay.
She was.
Okay. Okay. So is Fabian moved in at that point? Or is he just still visiting apartment 808?
Well, at that point, he was still visiting, but then I got tired of driving him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I was going to ask you, how did you get around?
Because I was driving him, and...
Which car did you have at that time?
The Buick.
Okay.
Buick Century.
Okay.
And I got tired driving back and forth from the South Valley back to West Side.
Okay.
And plus the gas was killing me.
Where was Fabian staying at that time?
He was just going from house to house, because he went to that girl's house, and then he went to his brother's house, and then he went back to that girl's house, and I was just like, I'm tired of doing this. I was like, I'm tired of it.
Okay.
I'm like, it's giving me gas. He was like, but I'm giving you gas. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I'm getting tired of driving back and forth.
Where were you working then?
Then I just started Smith's.
Okay.
Which one? I was in Walgreens.
Which Walgreens?
Walgreens, the one off of Allison and McMahon and Unser.
Okay.
I was working there in Walgreens.
What shift did you have there?
I had the 8 to 4:30, and I was the photo specialist. I was the lead photo specialist.
Okay.
So I was basically in charge of developing the photos and like making enlargements, sending them out, developing the rolled film and stuff. So I was like the main person that did like the inventory and basically what a supervisor does.
Okay.
And I did the ordering. So
Did you enjoy that?
I did.
Okay.
I did. Some of the pictures I saw weren't very nice.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even want to ask.
I kind of do,
don't
but
want to
maybe
ask. That's a totally
full
separate
separate
conversation.
But then most of the pictures were like of parents with their kids like for Halloween, and I was like, oh look how cute. And it was most of the pictures I would send in because I would have to crop them, like to make sure that it prints right, like it's not cut off, and so I would have to look at the pictures no matter what they were.
Uh-oh. That sounds real like there's a lot there.
but other than that, I loved it. I loved it.
Were you
Abraham, yes, 4 weeks. She knew him for 4 weeks. And he was living with her. 4 weeks.
still working there when you went to Smith's, or did you have a job?
No, I quit there because Smith's had the better benefits and they were unionized.
Yes.
So, and they were willing to give me a better schedule.
Okay.
And I was working my way up to there, but since I was on probation, I was at the bottom of the totem pole.
Okay.
So I was working 1 to 9:30.
Okay.
And I was on there until my probation was over. And I was working my way up, and eventually I'd go to mid shift, and then I do some mornings because they wanted to see how I worked with the flow of customers and everything. So
What'd you do at Smith's?
I worked in the deli.
Okay,
I
did you like
got
that?
yes. I got gained weight from eating.
Yeah, I couldn't work at a place like that.
Yeah, but I would make the sandwiches, I would cut the cold cuts, make the salads, and I liked it.
Okay. Did you have like customer service when they come and say, I want a pound of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So a
And
lot.
most of the customers got to know me very well, and I knew them very well, and it's like, they didn't even have to tell me what it was, and I was just like, you want a half a pound of salami? And they're like, yes. So
Another order.
Very, I mean, again, she's just very mature with everything. Yeah, that's the biggest thing to, I mean, no, maybe not the biggest thing. That's one of the main things here. I mean, all these strangers around her children, if she genuinely was cognitively impaired enough not to realize what was going on, all these strangers just in and out of her house all the time around her children, like, we can't be doing that as a society. It's just not safe. Like, if you think about, and we talk about, back in the day, was it always this bad? Way back in the day. Think about the 1800s. Usually women got married once, and that man was the only man there for around the child. And I'm not in that aspect, being married once and feeling like you can't leave your man if he's a domestic, if he's beating your ass and things like that. That's where the rule of thumb comes from. And the rule was you could beat your wife with a stick as long as it wasn't bigger than your thumb. Like those are all, that was the law actually. Those are all horrible things. But during that time period, for the good husbands that were treating their wife correctly, they were there with the kids. That was the man around the house other than family. You know what I mean? So children were protected better. Even when we were younger. Like my grandmother, her husband died and she never remarried. And my mother was like 18. My mother's a lot older than 18 now. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's where the rule of thumb comes from. It comes from back in the 1800, well, maybe even early 1900s, that you could beat your wife on the courthouse steps with a stick as long as it wasn't bigger around than your thumb. Her mouth is close to being like the aliens. Oh, she does got a really big smile. You're right, Abellis. Now I can't unsee it.
Which Smith was it?
the one right there off of Golf Course and McMahon.
Oh, the fancy one.
Yeah, the one that was
Yeah.
right behind the Arroyo. Yep.
Yeah, fancy.
And at the time it was kind of new still.
So it's like being back in a deli in New York and you're working there?
Yes. I love that they have boar's head.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the best meat.
Okay. Did you enjoy that job too?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And that one had benefits for the whole family or just?
For now, I just did it for myself.
Okay.
Because Victoria and Matthew, they were on Medicaid.
Okay.
And I just put the benefits for me
Okay.
for now. And then I was still on my probationary period.
What a
That sounds
blessing.
like a good job.
Yeah, it was.
Long term.
I liked it.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I was planning to like move up in the company.
Okay.
And
And it's union, so once you get off your probationary,
yes,
that's a good job to have.
yes it is.
Wow, it's a very smart move, I think.
Yes,
To go
and
there.
I only got in there because my mom's neighbor, Rhonda, her daughter's boyfriend at the time, his dad is the CEO of the company.
Oh.
So that's how I got in there. So I got like a little push.
It's always good to know somebody.
Eat a gag.
Always good to know somebody.
Yes. So
How
yeah.
long had you been working at Smith's when you met Fabian? Or were you at Walgreens when you met Fabian, or were you at Smith's?
I had just started Smith's.
Okay.
Right, Julie?
I had just
I
started
agree.
Smith's.
Okay. So you're.
It's a very selfish way of thinking. You got to put your kids first, but again, no motherly instincts, it appears. I always remember the depths of our struggles and they determine the height of our success. I like that. Oh no, you're good. No, I don't think she meant it in a bad way. I don't think you should feel bad. Fabian is vile, but I don't know that he necessarily touched Victoria. I want to know the truth, right? I want to know what really happened. And I think she might be the only one that can tell us. But she ain't telling us shit.
You're working 1 to 9:30. Was it a regular schedule, like 5 days a week and 2 days off, or did they just kind of just put you all over?
It was mainly 1 to 9:30, but my days off vary. Sometimes I have 3 days off, sometimes I have 2 days off.
Okay.
And because of the hours that they had allotted for the deli department, they had to split it between all the employees. So some people would have 3 days off or 4 days off. Some people would have 2 days off. And
But it sounds like pretty much a full-time job.
yeah, basically.
Okay.
Who was watching the kids after school? If it's 1 to 9?
My mom.
Okay.
My mom.
How would she watch them? Where would she watch them in?
At her house.
Okay.
She would pick them up from the bus stop and then take them to her house.
Okay. And then how would you go get them, or?
I would either go get them or she would come to my house and bring them to me.
Okay. Where were they living at that time?
Ventana Ranch.
Okay, so not far.
No.
Okay, so her parents were down here in New Mexico. I apologize. So I guess they all lived in New York at one time, and then they all moved to New Mexico, and her parents were down here. See, it's been a while since I've watched all of them together. Yeah, they said tinsel mouth, and she might have had braces. Yeah. Right. Julianne said, I know Fabian is a wrong'un, but I just don't think he did that. I don't either.
I made it
They were
real
7
easy.
minutes from me.
I made it easy.
Yes, it did.
Oh,
Send
so I
me
see
on
what you're
daycare.
saying. Now you're driving all over picking up Fabian, kind of messed the whole schedule up and you're all over town? Okay.
Yes.
Now I understand.
Yes.
I understand.
Yes.
Okay, so at what point you're finally tired of driving around and picking him up? Walk me through how that happens. How do you guys make the decision for him to move in?
I asked him if he wanted to stay here. At first he was hesitant. And I was like, look, because if I take you back over there, I'm not driving back over there to come pick you up. Either you find a ride over here or we don't see each other, because I'm tired of driving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he was like, okay. He's like, I'll stay. So he stayed.
Okay. How's the relationship going at that time?
Going okay.
Going okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know. No.
Has it turned into a sexual relationship yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so it's progressing.
Yes.
Okay. And when you say you thought it was okay, what do you mean? You kind of smiled at me.
No, because like after the fact that I compared now to then,
Okay.
that's why I made that comment.
Okay, one of those if I'd have known then, what I know now kind of
yes,
things? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But then it was good.
Okay, so it seemed like it was progressing
Yes.
pretty good for you guys.
Yes.
Okay, so walk me through. Walk me just through a general day. So if a work day, you go to work at 1, so just walk me through, it's a regular school day.
Mhm.
Just walk me through what goes on in a regular school day. This is after Fabian's moved in.
Okay, so I would take Victoria and Matthew to the bus stop at 8:30.
Where was the bus stop?
It was at the second entrance of the Royal Village, in the back entrance.
So if you're
Right,
driving
Lori.
like up
So
west on Irving.
He was his DNA was not on her or inside her at all. And if you're legitimately decapitating a body, how is your DNA not on her or in her? But let me check something real quick.
Yeah, if you're driving up Irving towards Ventana Ranch, it's the
Irving.
second entrance.
Okay, so not the main one with the
No,
offices.
it's the second
Next
one.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So the bus
what-
gets the kids there at 8:30.
Yes, 8:30, 8:40,
Something like
around
that.
there.
Would you normally just drop them off or just stay there till the bus came?
I stayed until the bus came.
Okay.
To make sure that they get on the bus.
Yeah.
Were there
And so
oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Were there a lot of other little kids?
Yes, and that's the main reason why I stayed there, to make sure that my kids didn't get into trouble or anybody was picking on Matthew or Victoria or anybody, so I would always stay there until they got on the bus.
Mother hen.
Yes.
Mother hen?
Yes.
Well, that's good
Yes,
though.
yes.
So Jessica Kelly's DNA and the unknown male DNA were the only DNAs that were on Victoria. So this is the morning session and it's 3 hours. And three and a half hours. And then there is an hour afternoon session. Now the interrogation videos are out on my channel, like where you actually get to see the video of it, even though it's a bit grainy. But these are the plea deal hearings. So basically her immunity interview. Yep, curious. Here comes the bullshit, said Lori.
That's good.
Yes.
Okay, so after they get on the bus, what would happen? What would normally happen just on a normal day?
I would go back to the house and I would just stay there, watch TV sometimes, and sometimes we would go out and go to Fabian's uncle's house while the kids are at school, and because I really don't like taking Victoria and Matthew over there because it's a bad neighborhood area.
Yeah.
So.
And uncle, who's uncle?
Fabian's uncle.
Okay, do you remember what his name was?
I think one of them is David, David. He called him David.
Okay, Uncle
So,
David.
yeah.
Okay.
And so he'd go there because he wanted to get weed, because he smoked weed.
Okay, who
Fabian.
did? Oh, Fabian smoked weed,
did.
okay.
Yes, not me.
Okay.
So I knew he did that, and I was like, as long as I don't see it, I don't smell it, I don't care.
Okay.
I was like, but you go outside. I was like, I don't want you smoking it in my house. I was
Okay.
like, you go out on the balcony in the back.
Okay.
Or
No,
in
it
the
was
front,
around
do
her
it,
neck.
whatever. And he was like, okay. And that would just be like a basic thing till the
Oh,
kids got out
Lord.
of school. And then when the kids got out, I would either, it was basically just like mainly me and the kids.
Burn
I would take them to the swimming pool mainly because this summer they like to swim and the water drains them out and gets them tired. So it'll easier to put them to bed.
Yeah. So if you're working, what would, so if you go to work at, I'm sorry, it was 1 to 9:30?
Yes.
Okay, what time would you normally start getting ready to go to work?
I would get ready about 12, 12:30.
Okay,
Depending on if I was gonna shower like before I go to work.
okay.
And if I showered, it would be like 12. If I don't, it'd be 12, 12:30. And I would get ready for work. I would take, either my mom would already be at the house, like to see me off, like, because if the kids had a half day of school, because on Wednesdays they get off early.
Oh, okay.
And but sometimes if I'm taking my Victoria or the kids to my mom's house, I would leave a little earlier. So I would get ready at like 11, leave my house by 11:30 and take the kids to her house and then from there go to work.
Okay. Did it change when Fabian moved in? Did that schedule kind of change at all?
Not much.
Okay.
Not much.
Was there ever times you went to work and the kids would stay with Fabian?
No.
Okay, they're always at school by that
Yes.
time? By the time,
Isn't, I feel even more for the grandma hearing that she would watch the kids every day that that Michelle worked. The mother was watching the kids, the grandmother. So she got to see her grandbabies pretty much most every day of the week except a couple. And then to find out that, she's been murdered in such a horrific way, what a horrible, horrible thing to have to go to. God go through. God bless her. My goodness. Yeah, I got the AC on right now. I got hot. I can't explain it, but there's something about people like Fabian. They may not be law abiding and often get in trouble, but there's something about them when they're being sincere. You can tell. Right, exactly. That's what I see too. She denies a lot in this, in my opinion. She does.
Fabian moved in, had school started, do you recall?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh wait, no, not right away. It didn't.
okay,
There was still like a month to go.
okay. Was there any time that, I know I just asked you, was there any time that you would go off to work or where Fabian would drive the kids around or anything like that by himself?
No.
Okay,
No.
so you're always with him with the kids?
Yes.
Okay.
How did he, when you went to work and he was there, did he have like keys to your house or how was he? how'd you guys
I
get
made a
around?
duplicate key for him, which I shouldn't have, but
Okay,
but yeah, I made a duplicate key for him so he can go.
He could come and go.
Yes.
okay. Did he when he moved in and you would go to work, would you just drive over there and keep your car, or what would you do during the day?
No, I would let him drive my car,
Okay.
which I did hide the fact from my dad too.
Oh, Dad wouldn't like that, huh?
No, because my dad bought me the car for graduating from college with honors.
Okay.
So he bought me the car.
That was your car?
Yes, that was my car. No payments, just insurance, and that's it.
Wow. Tell me about college. Where'd you go?
Brookline,
Okay. What kind of
medical billing and coding.
okay.
And I graduated with honors with a 3.9 GPA.
Wow, well, good for you.
Yep.
Okay.
Me personally, I didn't think I was that smart. But I guess I am. I'm more book smart than I am street smart.
We all surprise ourselves sometimes, don't we?
Yes.
Okay. Did you plan to head into that type of line of work eventually?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And once I graduated, I was trying to look for a job like in that area, but they either wanted a certified medical biller or they
Right.
wanted 5 years plus experience, 2+ years experience. I didn't have
Right,
the experience,
exactly.
so nobody wanted to hire me.
It's competitive, yeah.
Yeah. How do you get hired do you need experience To get hired, but you can't get experience because no one will hire you.
Exactly, and I told him that on one interview that I went with at Presbyterian, because I've been trying to get into Presbyterian Hospital for like a long time.
Right.
Like after I had my daughter, I've been trying to get into there. And
So Judy Jen said, yes, she offered to pick up Victoria after school, and Michelle told her Jessica would be getting her from the bus stop. And remember, Jessica is all mathed out and talking to the TV. And Victoria's outside playing in the apartment complex, and then she makes her come inside. And then this mysterious man comes in and says, you need to clean up the mess I've made, to her, evidently.
they just wouldn't call me for interviews, so I went to one of the job fairs that they had at the new Rest Medical. And they're like, well, sorry, but you don't have the experience. I'm like, well, how do you guys expect me to get the experience if you guys don't hire me? I was like, I'm out of college. Here's my certificate. And they were like, we're sorry, we need somebody with experience. And I was like, oh.
They couldn't answer that question?
No,
It's like-
they couldn't. They couldn't. I was like, well, it's your loss, not mine. So, because when it comes to work, I'm a good worker. I'm reliable, I'm dependable. I'm good at my work. I work at a decent speed, so that way I know what I'm doing and I don't mess up. And if I do, I learn from my mistakes, you know.
Okay. So when you're at work, now Fabian's moved in, and you're going to work, the kids are at school, and Fabian would probably...
So Abraham said, if you notice in his interview, there was a song and dance where they didn't directly accuse him, and he didn't ask if that's what they meant, but he was upset at the implications of him hurting her. And that's what's so intriguing, right? Because we know, again, that she was abused and had an STD. Yet it doesn't seem like Fabian was the one who did it. And if she took her to the doctor after David Hernandez, who he caught kissing her, and the doctor didn't see that she had been SA'd in any way, shape, or form, well, who SA'd her? Because I don't think she said there was anybody in between. Julianne said she was working. She was making sure the kids were okay. She had an education. She's just not street smart, like she said herself. Those people manipulated her so badly. I can see that, yeah. Work, 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 be making me twerk, twerk, twerk. It is. It seems like it would be. Which is interesting, given her cognitive abilities. Maybe her mother was initiate the doctor's appointment. Maybe. Fabian got 37.5 years. I was 3.8. I was obsessed with grades and spent so many hours, and I can say I'm likely more intelligent than her. So that confuses me a lot. Right. I wonder if it's an accredited place she got the certificate from.
The car, how would you normally get to work? Walk me through. So it's 12:30, kids are at school, and you're a work day. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is Fabian working at that time?
Not that I know of.
Okay. So what would it? So it's 12:30. It's a normal day like that. Walk me through how that would go.
Right.
A normal day like that. So you're working 1 to 9:30.
Yes.
Okay. Fabian's not working. So,
No.
okay. Walk me through that, please.
Excuse me. He would take me to work, and then he would take the car.
Okay.
So I don't know where he would go after that, but all I know is he had the car.
Okay.
And I would call him on my break. Sometimes he wouldn't answer the phone, and sometimes when he did, I could barely hear him because like the window with the music was up too loud, and the window was open, and the wind was going. But I don't know where he went with it. I was like, just be back here at 9:30 to pick me up.
Okay.
And there were a few times where he didn't come. Like the first time I lent him my car, he had my house keys too. And at this time I didn't have the duplicate key.
Right.
And this is what made me get the duplicate key, is because when I got home, I locked myself out, and he wasn't at my house at 9:30. And I called him, I was like, where are you? I was like, I need to get in my house. I'm sitting out here with my daughter. Where are you? I was like, I need to get in my house. And
That's what I'm wondering too. It made me think that even more when she said she couldn't get the job. Like maybe they did, a check to see if it was a legitimate place that she graduated from, and they couldn't verify it. And so maybe that's why she couldn't get that job. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't. Let me ask Uncle Google one sunny day. I don't think they ever said, but
He was like, he's like, I'll be there, I'll be there. He's like, wait. I waited. Nothing happened. So I had to put my daughter through the bathroom window. Thank God that was open. So I put her through the bathroom window and she came and opened the door for me. And he came strolling in the next morning. I said, where the heck were you? And he was like, that's none of your business. And I was like, okay, want to be that way? I was like, I'm going to make a duplicate key. So I made the duplicate, gave him the duplicate.
So she had HPV. And it's not telling me like that she got it from anybody. Like, it doesn't tell me, that she got it from this person or this person. It says Victoria Martens, a 10-year-old New Mexico girl that was allegedly raped and killed as her mother watched, was strangled to death on her birthday before her remains were mutilated late August, according to a newly released autopsy report. The autopsy obtained by Albuquerque television station KOAT on Tuesday also revealed a number of other disturbing details in the horrific and heartbreaking case. Victoria Martens is seen in a photo obtained by KOAT, distributed through CNN. Victoria Martens, it says the same thing. The autopsy was conducted 2 days after she was killed, but the report was not released until months after the girl's death. The report took longer than normal because of the state of the victim's body, the medical examiner's office told KOAT. According to the report, Victoria's body showed signs of SA prior to her death. She also tested positive for HPV, also known as HPV, a sexually transmitted disease. After being strangled, her body was dismembered and burned. She was found to have multiple abrasions and contusions to her head and neck, and her spine had been fractured. Some of her organs, including her heart, had been removed from the body and were found in a plastic bag in a laundry basket at the crime scene. Michele Martens, Victoria's mother, previously told investigators that the child was given meth to calm her down, but toxicology tests showed no evidence of substances, according to the report. However, the test did reveal that she had enough alcohol in her system to cause cognitive and physical impairment. Martens is one of 3 people charged in her daughter's homicide. The other 2 are the mother's boyfriend, Fabian Gonzalez, and his cousin, Jessica Kelly. According to a criminal complaint, Gonzalez raped Victoria before she was strangled and stabbed. Michele Martens is seen after she was arrested. It says, as Michele watched, Kelly held her hand over Victoria's mouth during the SA, the complaint said. According to the document, Michele stated she watched this happen for sexual gratification as she was being tortured, according to police documents. But Martens allegedly continued to watch and did nothing while her daughter was being killed. Gonzalez also told investigators he didn't say he had sex with Victoria shortly after the child was deceased. He said he had sex with fucking Michele shortly after the child was deceased, which he didn't know at the time. During an 8-hour interview with police, Michele Martens told investigators that Gonzalez raped Victoria daily the month before her killing, according to the television station in Albuquerque. Martens had allegedly previously arranged for other men to SA her daughter, and Victoria was victimized by 2 other men in the 6 months before her death. No other arrests have been made, and that's all we know. But we later find out that that wasn't true, and she allegedly gave a false confession. Hold on. Hold on just a minute. Miss Woozy said HPV is genital warts. There's no way to type that code in and make sense. No, you're good. That's horrible. I think Jessica brought someone in to SA the child and got paid for it, and then maybe she gave the child $60 to keep quiet. I think that's a possibility too, but you remember Fabian found out that Jessica had given Victoria $60, and he had a fit and started saying, why what did you do for Jessica to give you this? Why did Jessica give you this money? Tell me why Jessica gave you this money. What happened? What did she do? What did you do? How did you get this money from Jessica? Why did she give you this money? Like, he was throwing a fit about her getting that $60 from Jessica. And that makes me question if it's something that Jessica had done before, but maybe it didn't end in homicide. HPV is the name of a very common group of viruses. They do not cause problems in most people, but some types can cause genital warts or cancer. Poor baby. There's a vaccine for it now. HPV is a family of over 209 viruses. Abraham said exactly, and he pulled the kid outside so she could tell him the truth. Right. And that's what was weird to me about that. Why was he demanding to know why Jessica gave her that $60 unless he knew that that's something that Jessica would do when she would abuse children? You know what I mean? 200 viruses. That's crazy. I know, Kat. It is.
And I kept the original.
Okay.
And me being the nice person I am, still let him use my car, and Smith's wasn't that far, so I would walk home sometimes.
So there's times he wouldn't pick you up and you have to walk home?
Yeah, at night. But thank God one of the guys that I worked with at Smith's lived in the same apartments as I do, so he would walk with me.
Okay.
So, and he was just a friend.
Okay.
So.
Did you, the duplicate key you gave him, did you put it on a key ring or what did he do?
I think I put on one of those little springy things that wear around your wrist.
Do you remember what color it was?
I
really?
Don't
I didn't know that.
Okay, I may show you a photograph here in a little bit. See if that refreshes your memory.
Okay.
Okay. So as that's going on, and kind of walk me through. We're heading toward. You want to take a couple minutes?
Please.
Okay. We've been going for a little bit. Want to take a 5-minute break or so?
Family
yes.
Yeah. Okay. I figured. Make sure you tell me if you need to take a break. Okay. It is 9:32. We're going to go ahead and take a break for a few minutes. Okay, I'm on, Bryce.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Again.
So exactly, Abraham said because he was suspecting Jessica was up to no good. Exactly. So who had he done that to before? Is that the MO for the child that she had, what was it, minor sexual contact with that sent her to prison for all those years that she was in there before she got out most recently, that week before, 7 days before the homicide of Victoria? And if that was the MO for that, then how did they not immediately zone in on Jessica once they were told that? You know what I mean? You can also be a carrier and not have HPV. I didn't know that either. Y'all are so educated. Y'all teach me so daggone much. She needed to pee. Yeah. Not BJ's phone. Miss Woozy said, true facts. I was having issues a long time back and they found a weird strain of HPV after doing an extensive panel on me. I'm so sorry. Right, Rosie? Good to see you. I am not acting very educated today, but y'all are. I didn't have any symptoms, just was getting a lot of polyps with no known cause. Interesting. Abraham said, I still think that wasn't a false confession. I think the DA saw how to a jury it can come across as coerced based on the amateur tactics used to question her by the detectives. That makes a lot of sense. I think there was a lot of truth in those confessions that she made. I don't think, because Fabian, I mean, we see Michelle changes her story several times in the interviews that we have of her. In Fabian's interrogations, he's like adamant, no ma'am, I did not do this, no ma'am, you have to believe me, no. Like, and I get that he might have lied and he has a criminal record, but like you said, and I've said before when we were talking about the guy who was going to steal the car and found the baby in the car and like took the baby in the store to the mom and was scolding the mom for having the baby in the car. Just because we are criminals or were at one time criminals does not make us like deviant. Just because he broke the law, had a substance problem and all that, I don't think he was SAing this child. Somebody motherfucking was. And I don't think he should have had Jessica Kelly there. And that is part of why he got the charge of reckless child endangerment, because he knew why Jessica had just gotten out of prison and he brought her to that house anyway. Michele did not. But Michele was with men that abused Victoria beforehand. He was very consistent throughout and pleading with them to believe him. What? My mom's first boyfriend was her only, got married till my daddy passed with my grandparents sitting between them on the couch when they first met, talking. That's so sweet. You think they're all pedophiles? I think Jessica Kelly definitely was. I think Michele Martens knows more, but I don't think Fabian did. Fabian was adamant that it wasn't him, especially because he also knew what that paperwork means on the yard. And that can be true, but he was telling them in the interrogations, he was like, they were saying, we got your DNA on her. And he's like, that's impossible. You're lying. That's impossible. Like, and saying, give me a lie detector test, do a DNA test, that you're lying. That's impossible. And I know that, all criminals lie, but I mean, again, his story stayed the same throughout. He was consistent throughout. Like, I feel like he was telling the truth. I do. Fabian got thrown under the bus, not saying he's completely innocent. Exactly, Lori. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Boom, 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 bam.
My headphone's not hooked up. Hold on. I'll work on getting it hooked up. Abraham said, I suspect he felt a lot of guilt for bringing Jessica there. That's why he felt he wanted to take on some of the responsibility, just not for the homicide. Right.
It is Saturday, November 11th, 2017. The time now is approximately 9:43 a.m. The same folks are in the room, and we're going to go back and continue our conversation with Michele. Okay?
Yes.
You doing okay?
Yes.
Okay. And like I said, if you need to use the restroom, please don't. I can be like a camel sometimes, and I kind of forget times. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, let me know. Okay? And if you need to take a break, and like I said, we got
Hey, lovely.
tissue here, okay? Okay. We doing all right?
Yes.
Okay. Earlier we were talking about when Fabian moved in, he's not showing up when he should be, and you had to give him a key, and you put it on a key ring for him. I'm going to show you a photograph. I'm going to mark this in red here in the bottom. I'm going to make it photograph number 1. Mr. Mitchell, take a look at it. Can you take a look and see if you recognize anything in that photo? If you recognize anything in that photo, could you tell me what you recognize and where you recognize it from?
I recognize the stringy thing. I don't recognize this.
The kind of the hook?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
And the key. That's about it.
Okay.
I don't recognize those 2 cards.
The 2 cards and the little, what's it called? The clip hook or something like that? I got it. What it's called. Okay. The squishy wrist band thing?
Yeah, the springy thing. Yeah.
Okay. Do you believe that may be the one that you gave to Fabian with the key on it?
It looks similar.
Okay.
But
similar?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Not sure. Perfect.
And what about the key?
Yeah, the key looks similar. Yes.
That's the same kind you got duplicated?
Yes.
Okay. But the hook, we're looking at right here, the hook and both the little cards attached to the ring, you don't recognize those at all?
No.
Okay.
No, because
And I think that's why he took it to trial too, Abraham. Abraham said, in my humble opinion, I think he was ready to accept responsibility for bringing Jessica there. And once the sentence was handed down, he was in complete shock and disbelief. And I think that's why he took it to trial, because he knew he didn't do anything and he believed that, he was genuinely innocent. Oh, goodness, Shelby, I need to do that myself. And he was genuinely innocent. And so he thought he would get less time and he didn't need to take the plea deal. I think he was shocked too. Oh, yeah, Tammy, there's an interview with the neighbor. I'll try to show you where it is on my page.
I don't remember the key having those things on there. I remember only giving him the key with the springy thing on it.
Okay. Okay. And that's similar. We're not sure that's it.
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So let's go. Things are kind of just rolling along. Fabian's showing up sometimes at 9:30 and sometimes he's not. Do you ever confront him why he's not showing up like he?
I would ask him, but he wouldn't answer me.
Okay.
And he wouldn't say, that was the only time he said none of your business, like the first time. So I let it slide, but when I would confront him, he wouldn't really say anything. He would just mainly keep quiet.
Okay. How long total do you, how many days and weeks, and I know it's been a while, how long, give me an estimate, how long you think Fabian's living there?
I would say it's going on about maybe a month and a half.
Okay. So not a very long.
So yeah, he was there for about 4 weeks. Right here, the neighbors that called 911 speak, and what they heard is very questionable. That was where the neighbor was interviewed. Now it's hard to hear them because, like, she has her husband got in some kind of accident, and he has a speech difficulty. But if you like slow it down and maybe listen to it with headphones, you can tell what they say. They claim to hear Fabian outside talking about the homicide or what to do next with Victoria's body and things like that. They were very upset and distraught because they knew Victoria. Their children played with Victoria, and they were actually supposed to go to the park, I think, the next day for Victoria's little birthday party. Abraham, I should do that. I might do that and see what happens. Shelby said, my best friend had HPV type 2. I think it was, so instead of genital warts, she had what it called meningitis twice. Oh my God. I didn't even know that could cause meningitis. That would be interesting, Abraham. I would love to look into it because I know the case so well. That would be interesting. Julianne said he knows he fucked up bringing her there. That was evident when he pulled them aside about the money. He was accepting that, but he was so adamant he didn't touch her, and it felt real hearing that. Exactly, Julianne. I don't think he did. But then who did? Because if David was allegedly touching her, but then, she went to the doctor, had her checked, and nothing had happened, and then the very next boyfriend is Fabian, unless I'm missing somebody in the middle there, who did it if it wasn't Fabian? I don't know. I might not. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna think about it and talk to Mr. Speculating and see what he thinks. It would be a lot different than the Stefan interviews because, number one, believe it or not, I have been doxxed, although, I hit it kind of well. This platform, I've already been doxxed on this platform, but I got it taken down immediately. Number two, Stefan's case had not gone to trial, so I had to kind of keep him talking about like meaningless shit. Fabian's has gone to trial. He's got no reason not to talk about it unless he's appealing. I think it'd be a lot different, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I said I wouldn't, so. That's a good point. Did she really take her to the doctor or not, or did she just say she did? I would hope that they went and got proof that she took her to the doctor, but.
How soon is it after he moves in does he not come get you at 9:30 at Smith's?
And that was about like this first week or second week that he was with me.
Okay.
And then I let it slide because then after that he'd come for me unless I would tell him, like, if he would forget, which he didn't after that one time. Because I told him, I was like, if you forget to pick me up and you take my car elsewhere, I'm gonna call cops and call for.
So you laid the law down.
Yes.
Good for you.
And I told him, and.
Okay. Was he better?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So it got better.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
He was there before 9:30.
Okay. I'm going to show. I've got here, and this helps me. I'm a visual person. I've always been told that. I like to. This is going to be a calendar, and it's just an August 2016 calendar, and we're going to start talking about some days, and it sometimes it helps me when we work through some stuff. And I'm going to say if I get too close in your arm, let me.
No, you're fine. Okay? You're fine.
And there's a lot of records and a lot of interviews we've done, and I'm sure that your attorney and your investigator have talked about this. But we know certain things have happened There's a barbecue. We
Okay,
know what days
lovely.
you're working
Have a
and
good
things
day.
like that. So I don't want to tell you
Right?
this.
Well, I just want to put out there it's illegal to dox people, and it's not that hard to figure out, who did it. It can only be about a handful of people, right? Because not too many knew my actual last name. Actually, the only people I can think of that actually knew my last name would be one person that I was emailing, and that's if he somehow got a hold of the information that I needed to use to buy the credit. So, there's only a couple of people who would have gotten my last name. But, I hope that it was worth it because I have turned in paperwork on the situation to an attorney that I can afford. So, just be looking at that knock at your door. I don't dox people because, that's illegal, like I just said. Hope it was worth it. I will be Jessica's manager. I will make sure everything is on the up and up. Was fixed on the other channel a while back during Stern's situation. Jessica was fixed on that other channel a while back during the Stern situation. Yeah, the name Jessica was dropped before I came out and said it was me, and that didn't really bother me. But like when you pull my last name and then you put my whole full legal name on here along with mugshots, I mean, that's doxing and that's illegal. Now, what they're trying to prove, I don't fucking know because I've said on here almost daily that I have a past. It's out there, it's not that hard to find, but doxing is illegal. So if I didn't choose to share it, then you shouldn't have it. Yes, they do deserve to step on all the Legos.
This is your statement, but I'm going to point out certain things to help refreshers. We're going to work on a timeline, if that makes sense. Okay. We're going to kind of move into that, okay?
Okay.
So, do you remember, we're going to start the week of August 15th right here.
Okay.
Do you know,
Was my last name said? Lorianne, just Jessica, right? Not my last name, right? Or was my last name said?
I know I'm asking a tough question. If you ask me my work schedule for August 15th of last year,
Oh my God.
I'm going to laugh at you. So if you don't know, do you remember the week of August 15th? Do you remember the days you were working?
Not the exact days, no, but I know it was 1 to 9:30.
Okay. There's a calendar that we find in the living room of your apartment.
You know my last name, Lorianne.
And it's got some marks like X's across the days, and then you'll see 1 to 9:30. Do you know who would have prepared that calendar?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I would put the times I would work, the days I would work, so that way I don't forget.
Perfect. So we've got a picture of that, so we know your schedule at that time.
Okay.
But do you remember? Let's go to Friday the 19th. Okay, and we know, and again, this is all the records are out there. We know.
I'm not asking because I think you did anything. I just am wondering if my last name was said out loud on that channel for God knows how many people to see. Interesting. Thank you for that information.
Do you remember the barbecue?
Yes.
Okay, that stands out in everybody's mind as far as I can remember.
Yes.
Did you go to that barbecue?
No, I did not.
Okay. Do you remember when that barbecue was?
I don't remember exactly when, but I know it was on a weekend. I just don't know when it was. Because Fabian was going to go over there, but Jessica wound up going, and then Fabian wound up taking my car because I was working, and he went over there, and then he came back, and he told me he had gotten into a fight and came back with a black guy. Okay. And that was my question. The day of the barbecue, you were working? Yes.
Okay. And so let's just kind of walk through the barbecue. Okay. Does Fabian tell you about this barbecue, or how does it come up about the barbecue?
Jessica brought it up.
Okay. So I'm getting way ahead of me. By the time this barbecue happens, Jessica is hanging out with you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me back up, and I apologize. This is my fault.
No, you're okay.
This is my fault. Let's walk me through and help me understand how you first meet or hear about Jessica Kelly.
Well, Fabian showed me a picture of her on his phone that he had before the one that I got him.
Okay.
And He said that she's getting out of prison. I don't remember which day it was. And it was my fault because I didn't ask him for what. She was getting out of prison.
Okay.
And he asked me, he was like, can she come stay with us for a little bit until she gets on her feet? So me, the nice person I am, say, sure, why not?
Okay.
So I gave her a place to stay instead of her being out on the streets, because I don't like seeing anybody on the streets. And because I know it's tough, because I was once homeless, and it's horrible. And I was like, sure. And they were like, we'll help you out with food and everything. So I was like, okay. It's like, that sounds like a deal. And by then, like, she's been with us for about, I would say maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks already. And then she mentioned the barbecue to Fabian.
Okay, so that's the first time you hear about the barbecue?
Yes.
So Jessica and Fabian are talking about it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what the purpose of the barbecue was, or?
No.
Okay.
Jessica did ask Fabian to go, but he said no because he don't get along with people over there.
Okay. Okay.
So he didn't mention specific people, but.
Okay. So is there a time that Jessica moves or actually moves property in or starts staying at your apartment?
Yes.
Okay. How long before the barbecue, if you remember, did that happen?
I would say about maybe a week before the barbecue.
Just a short period of time?
Yes.
Okay. Was Jessica bringing anybody to the apartment before the barbecue?
The only people I know she brought was her kids.
Okay.
Her daughter and her son, or both daughters.
Okay. How old were the kids?
Oh, they were older.
Okay.
I don't know exactly the age.
Okay. Like in 20s or teens or?
Probably about the teens, early 20s maybe.
Okay, so they're younger but not grown adults.
Exactly.
Okay. Do you remember what went on when she brought the kids over?
We were all having a good time because I had my kids with me, Victoria, Matthew, her kids. We were all getting along really good. We were making jokes, we were playing games, and we were just on the back balcony chilling out, smoking cigarettes.
She had that black eye for quite a while because Jessica knocked the shit out of her. And this one, that stitch seemed to have healed, so maybe it's just bags under her eyes. Not sure.
We were all having a good time.
Okay. What time of day did they come over?
They were there when, when I got out of work one time, because I was working an early shift one time, and they were there already, like when I got out of work.
Everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Did they ever stay the night, the kids?
Just that one night.
Just one night?
Just that one night, because then the next day they were going to the barbecue with Jessica.
Okay, so it's right around the time of the barbecue?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And you said Jessica was there just a few days before the kids stayed the night?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So walk me through, obviously you're working the day of the barbecue. Okay. Do you remember what hours you were working that day?
Oh, I don't know if it was 12 to 8 or 1 to 9:30.
Okay, so it's probably that semi-swing shift?
Yeah, I know it wasn't the morning, but
Okay.
it was somewhere between 12 and 9:30.
Okay. And how did you know that Fabian ended up at the barbecue, other than when he came back? And
That's the only way I know, because he went there and then he came back and he told me, he lifted up his glasses and showed me the black eye. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? And he said, I got into a fight, and I was like, I told you not to go.
Okay.
And he's like, you said you weren't going to go because you didn't get along with people. And I asked, why did you go? And he didn't give me an answer.
Okay.
So he wasn't very good at giving me answers.
Okay. Did he, besides the black eye, do you have any other injuries that you saw?
Not that I saw.
Okay. Did he tell you what happened? Other than he got into a fight, or
He
what
probably
was over?
did. He probably did, but I don't remember the exact thing. He said that Jessica tried to stop him or something like that, and I don't know exactly what happened. But
Okay. Did Jessica come back with him?
No.
Okay. Do you know what happened to Jessica?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Does she end up coming back to the apartment after the barbecue?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't know if she got a ride there or she went somewhere else and then came the next morning. I don't remember.
Okay, so that night of the barbecue, she doesn't come back
No,
to the apartment?
not that
Okay.
I know of.
But you just don't remember how she
I
gets
don't
back?
remember, yes.
Okay. Okay. I've got some, this over here for you. Move into, do you know that we've collected a lot of Facebook account records, cell phone records, and things like that? So we have some dates and times that things go on.
Yep.
The night that Fabian comes home with the black eye and beat up from the barbecue. Walk me through that night. What goes on? What does he talk about? What does he do? And what do you do that night?
He was just telling me about that he got into a fight when he went to the barbecue. He didn't go into like detail. He just said that he got mixed up with the people that he didn't like, and they wound up punching him, and he got a black eye. And when he went to go leave the barbecue, because he had my car, he went to go leave the barbecue. They were throwing stuff at my car, and he sped off and came home.
Okay.
So that's how I know he came back by himself.
Okay. Did he come get you at Smith's, or did you have to walk home that? Do you remember?
No, he came to get me.
Okay, so he's, by the time you get off at either 8 or 9:30, whenever it is, he's back over
Yes,
there. Okay.
yes.
Okay. Did that night, did Victoria Matthew stay with you guys?
No, they were at my mom's house.
Okay.
So I went after work, I dropped Fabian off at the house, and then I went to go get the kids around 9:45, around there.
Okay.
I picked them up and then took them back to the house.
Okay. Does any of the kids talk to Fabian that you recall?
Not that I recall.
Okay.
Victoria does, but not much.
Okay.
But she'll just like say, how are you, and this and that. But
Okay.
other than
Nothing
that,
specific you
nothing-
recall?
No.
Okay. So now we're going into the following day. And I can tell you from records, to help you refresh your memory, the barbecue is going to be on this Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
Please hit me with some lies or something that she told these men. I need something, Mr. DA.
So now we're going from Sunday night into Monday the 22nd of August of last year. Do you recall if you were working that day?
I was.
Okay. Do you remember?
Look, it's a dog. Isn't he so cute? I don't know if you caught up with us, but it's nice to meet you, Old. I don't know why I can't speak today. Old Line Red. Your name reminds me of that song, Old Red. I think that's the name of the song. It's like one of the very few country songs I like, and I used to know every word of it, about a guy who got locked up and took care of a dog, and he trained him to he would walk him at night, and basically the guy escaped from the jail, and the dog was running to go see his girlfriend down south, and he was headed up north, and they thought the dog was chasing him because that was their dog that they used to chase the prisoners.
What shift you had?
I believe it was 1 to 9:30.
Okay, so walk me through that morning. That's the 22nd, it's Monday. So obviously both the kids are there.
Well, they started school.
Okay.
They had started school already.
Okay, so walk me through as best you can remember what that day was like before you went to work at 1.
So I would take the kids to the bus stop.
Okay.
I put them on the bus, and I went back to the apartment, and Fabian was there and Jessica was there. They were still sleeping.
Okay.
Because I guess I went to bed late, because I went to bed before they did.
Okay.
And
Now you remember this because you just told me a second ago that Jessica didn't come back with him that night. You don't remember her that night.
no, the 22nd.
The 22nd, that
Yes.
morning, she's back then?
Yes.
Oh, do you know how she gets back to the apartment? Okay, she's just there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Mustang. I didn't think that's who sang it, but yes, it's him.
Walk me through the kind of sleeping arrangements. Where would, when Matthew's there, he's obviously in his room, and Victoria has her room, and then you had the master bedroom.
Yes.
By now Fabian's moved in, where would he normally sleep?
With me.
With you in the master bedroom?
Yes.
Okay. When Jessica comes into the picture, where would she normally sleep?
If Matthew was there, she would sleep on the couch.
Okay.
If he wasn't there, she would sleep in his room.
Okay. Okay. Would she sleep on the couch? What would she do to the couch? You know what I'm asking? Would she,
As
some
far as I know,
people...
just put a blanket
Okay.
over her and sleep on the couch like that.
Okay.
Just put a blanket over
Is
her.
it the kind of walk me through, is it a kind like the fold-out couch that makes a bed?
No.
What do they call those, the pull-out beds?
No.
Okay.
No, it was a native design, and leather on the arms, and then the native design on the back. My parents had given me the couch because
Okay.
they were going to get one that reclines on both sides, so they wound up giving me the old couch, and they got the new one.
Okay.
Miss Woozy, don't feel like you gotta unsubscribe. I don't talk shit about that channel. I don't, that's not my thing. if you want to be subscribed to both of us, by all means, that's, completely fine with me. I'm not going to tell you where to go and who to watch. That, that's up to you. I just, there's some, behind the scenes things going on, I guess I should say. So that's all. Julianne, you're funny.
Let me show you
Hey, Mariel. Good to see
a
you.
photograph.
Yes.
I'll mark this one number 2.
Wait a minute. Maybe not.
Bear with me just a second. Let me put a 2 down here in the right lower corner. It's hard to see. I'm going to put it right here. That's fine. Do you recognize that location, and kind of walk me through what you're seeing?
This is the living room, and the TV's on this side, and the couch is there, and that's the coffee table, and then the bedrooms are back of it.
Okay. Is this a living room in your apartment?
Yes.
Okay. There's a bunch of photographs and stuff up here. Who's that?
That's my daughter and my son.
Okay. And who made that collage?
Bye Bye Baby.
Okay.
Where'd you take the pictures at?
Bye Bye Baby,
They
because I
have
got
like
a discount. They have a photograph place inside the store.
Okay.
So I got a discount since I work there. So
Okay.
I got a whole package and everything, and then I got that for free.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's. I'm going to show you another photograph. I'm going to mark this one number 3.
Wait a minute.
I'll put number 3 right up here in the right corner.
Mariel, which one are you talking about?
Do you recognize number 3?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Tell me what you're seeing in number 3.
That's my TV with my TV stand and photos and the master bedroom.
Right. I think that's the best way to
What's
be.
in this collage I see?
I'm not going to be talking shit either.
Well, the photographs.
I'd rather not
My
talk about
kids.
it at all.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I
Tell
think
me
that's the
about that.
best
How
way
did
to
you?
be.
It's a lot of work to make that.
It is.
Okay.
I put a lot of heart and soul into that.
That is.
And
That's a lot. That's nice.
Yeah.
I always said that I wanted to like make a collage of my kids, of the things I love, and I actually went to Walmart and bought this frame, and I wound up making that all by myself. Nobody helped me.
Did you do that when you first moved to this apartment in building 8, or?
No, I don't remember exactly when I did it, but I know I've had it for a while.
How did you decorate the apartment? Did your mom help you? Like, you said she gave you the
Sometimes
couch.
she would, but majority of the time I did it.
You did it?
Yeah, because I like my things to be certain
Like,
places.
really put together, yeah.
Yeah, like see, one time my best friend Tina came over my house, and I had my stuff exactly the way I wanted it. And she came and she started moving stuff. I'm like, no!
Right?
I was like, I want those there.
It's where I wanted it.
But
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's upsetting to hear her get upset about this collage that she had with pictures of her children. But then you find out that she's bringing men into her house and letting them spend the night the very first time she ever meets them at all. Like, I don't know if it's because she wanted to be accepted and wanted to have friends. She talked about getting picked on at school. It's a weird dynamic, and again, no motherly instinct is what I'm getting. 6-month-old baby Nakai. Okay, thank you for that, Mariel. Kelly said she's full of shit. Those tears are not real. You don't think seeing the collage of her kids bothered her? She'd have to have a motherly instinct for that to happen, right?
for the most part, I'm the one that furnished, well, not furnished, but decorated my apartment. Yes.
Yeah.
Did your mom give you other furniture and stuff, or help you buy it, or?
She gave me the dining room table and the chairs, and everything else was practically maybe given to me. And I bought the TV on myself.
Did a nice job decorating that apartment.
Thank you.
Looks nice.
I tried my best to keep it clean too.
That's one thing I was going to ask you about. It's a very clean apartment. I'd be proud of that. So let's take it back to photograph number 2. Tell me what you see on the couch.
A blanket and a pillow.
Okay. When you're talking about Jessica when she sleep on the couch, is that representative of what you normally see, or would she? I've had guests at my house over the years where they want sheets on the thing, or do you know what I'm asking?
Yes.
Is that normally what you'd see with Jessica, or is that different?
No, that's the same, because that's like, even when my mom comes to sleep over and she sleeps on the couch, she would sleep like that.
Okay, so that's
I would
just
put
like
no sheets on the couch or anything. I would just leave it like that with the blanket over.
Okay, so that seems normal.
Yes.
Okay.
What blanket is that?
That's my son's blanket, his How to Train Your Dragon blanket.
Where would that blanket normally be if he was there?
In his room.
Okay,
On
so
his
that's
bed.
on his bed.
Yes.
Do you recognize the pillow, the white pillow at all?
I believe that was her pillow. I'm not sure.
Okay. Did Jessica bring property? When she moved in, did she bring some of her things?
She was starting to bring in like some clothes and stuff. Like she bought like a big plastic bin
Okay.
of clothes, and she gave me some,
Okay.
and I gave her some of my clothes, because when she was there, she had an interview with Church's Chicken.
Okay.
Like not too long after she was with me, and it was on a Monday, the interview. So I took her to the interview and I lent her one of my shirts. It was a plaid shirt. It was blue, pink, and another color. I don't remember what it was. And I told her that she can have that shirt because it didn't fit me anymore. So she could have it. And then she started giving me clothes. And
Can you remember what clothes you gave her besides the shirt?
I think that was the only thing I gave her. And then I lent her like some sleeping pants, like some Jordan sleeping pants.
Okay.
They were red with the white line going down, and they had the Jordan symbol on the shoes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not buying the tears either. So I'm going to pause it here for the day. If you guys want to continue to watch that without me until tomorrow, you can. It is the most recent video on my channel, this one right here. Unreleased Michele Martens plea deal interview with the district attorney. We're going to finish that tomorrow. I've got a child that her throat is hurting, so I need to go get her some ices. So I'm gonna have to go for the day because we've been going for about 3.5 hours, and I'm gonna do that. I did say that we would talk about two things. So when I look for, let me see. Brought up Naziah. Hold on just a minute. We'll talk about the other one that I posted and go over that article before we go, and then I will see what I can find on Nakaya. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, she said her throat's hurting. Usually if we get them something cold for their throat, it usually doesn't stay in the house too long. I need to get me some Lysol and get them something for their throat. All right, so this talks about the Amari Jones case. And I don't know that there's charges, but I don't know that anybody's been to jail. So it says 2 children, ages 9 and 10, charged with attempted homicide, RAPE, and brutal attack on 5-year-old girl, prosecutors say.
At Johnson & Wales, students explore, experiment, and turn curiosity into...
Hold on. I don't want to get in trouble. That looks like a good place to go to school if you're into that stuff. Where's my volume? Okay.
A mother in shambles after she says she found her baby girl beaten and abused. For the first time ever, the child's mother is speaking out, and you won't believe who police say are the suspects. 19's Noelle Williams joins us now with this heartbreaking story, and we want to warn you, some of the images and details are graphic.
I literally saw the worst thing ever. Like,
oh no.
I saw my daughter unrecognizable.
What happened to Antavia Kinnebrew's daughter is something most people will have a hard time understanding. She says her bubbly, sweet 5-year-old daughter was beaten and assaulted. This picture showing hair ripped out of her scalp. Police revealing startling details. The victims and suspects are under the age of 10 years old. This is shocking news to the 21-year-old mom.
I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Kinnebrew's mother held her hand as she wept. She tells me out of safety, she does not want to share her daughter's name or show her face, but she explains what happened that day. She tells me on September 13th, she had dropped her daughter off at a family member's home near East 145th Street and St. Clair Avenue. Somehow, her baby girl walked out the front door. When Kinnebrew found out, she rushed over and saw her 5-year-old being treated by EMS several blocks over.
Her hair was scalped from her head She had bruises and blood all over her body. Her eyes was filled with blood. Her lips and mouth was filled with blood. Her nails had dirt, debris of dirt stuck in it.
19 News reached out to Cleveland police
My
several
God.
times to try and find out if there are any charges. If so, what are those charges? And if the ages of the suspects would hinder that. All police would confirm is that the victim and suspects involved in this case are under the age of 10, and any other information would jeopardize the investigation. Either way, Kennebrew says her daughter is left physically, emotionally, and mentally hurt and now in therapy. She is grateful for the support of the community so far, but she wants help and answers.
I want her to just to be somewhat of a normal 5-year-old again.
In Cleveland, Noelle Williams, 19 News.
My God.
Again, no charges
That's
have
so
been
horrible.
filed, but we will continue to press police for information here. And as soon as we do hear that charges are filed, look for that First Alert push notification on our app. We will continue to follow up with this horrific attack.
At Johnson & Wales, students...
All right. Hold on. So it says, Cleveland, Ohio, 2 children ages 9 and 10 are facing several serious charges, including attempted homicide and RAPE, after prosecutors say they brutally attacked a 5-year-old girl in Cleveland. According to Chattanooga County prosecutors, the 2 children have been charged in connection with the assault that occurred last month. Prosecutors say that a 9-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl are facing initial charges of attempted homicide, RAPE, felonious assault, kidnapping, and strangulation. Antivia Kennebrew, the victim's mother, said she dropped her daughter off September 13th at a family member's home in Cleveland. Somehow, the 5-year-old walked out the front door and was allegedly badly beaten by a group of kids outside. When Kennebrew found out, she rushed over and saw an ambulance treating her daughter several blocks over. Quote, what I saw was unbelievable. My daughter was not my daughter. Her hair was scalped from her head. She had bruises and blood all over her body. Her eyes were filled with blood. Her lips and mouth were filled with blood. Her nails had debris and dirt stuck in them. Given the sensitive nature of the matter and the age of the suspects, police have not released further details about the attack. Kennebrew says the attack left her daughter physically, emotionally, and mentally hurt. The 5-year-old is now in therapy. Quote, I just want her to be somewhat of a normal 5-year-old again, unquote, Kennebrew said. Police are continuing to investigate. So the 9 and 10-year-old have been charged. What about the 8-year-old? It was a horrible, it's a horrible, horrible, horrible case. Horrible case. I have a lot of questions too. And she had to come to social media to get any help whatsoever in that case. So we got 3 more articles to talk about quickly before I go. We're going to jump over to Nakiah Pratt, and then Abella's just sent me some stuff on Jack and Lily Sullivan that we need to talk about. I might like kind of cut these, cut off the end of the live, not cut it off, but use part of it to make a video to put out the information on Jack and Lily because it's pretty new. If I can, I don't know. It'll probably be out before I get it out, but if I drop a video tonight, it will be just the end of the live where we talk about that, just so you know. It is horrifying, isn't it, Mustang? Sickening. Okay, so this article is about Nakiah Pratt. It says, father's story of baby's kidnapping unravels after the infant's body found in a trash bag, police say. Both the father and the mother were denied bail on Friday and remained in jail after they were charged in the death of Nakiah Pratt. Jonesburg, Georgia. Police in suburban Atlanta say they found the body of 6-month-old boy wrapped in a trash bag, dead from blunt force trauma to the head, after his father initially claimed the baby was kidnapped during an armed robbery. Both the father and the mother were denied bail Friday and remained in jail after they were charged with the death of Nakiah Pratt. Antonio Pierce told Clayton County Police on Sunday that Nakiah was snatched while sitting in his car seat by 2 armed men who also stole about $6,500 in cash and 3 pounds of marijuana. The kidnapping was alleged to have happened in an apartment that Pierce said he was using as a stash house in Riverdale, about 11 miles or 18 kilometers south of Atlanta. But late Tuesday, police found Nakaya's body in the backyard of a house just on the other side of a fence from the apartment complex. Clayton County Detective Cheyenne Reynolds told reporters Friday that officers never believed Pierce's story. Quote, he was caught in a lot of lies throughout his interview process, unquote, Reynolds said, saying witness statements and evidence from Pierce's phone led police to the child's body. Police also say Pierce asked another man to hide a backpack with guns and substances. Police haven't said where Nakaya died or why Pierce might have killed him. Police arrested Pierce on Sunday, charging him with marijuana possession and traffic offenses. They later added false statements charge. Wednesday, they charged Pierce with Nakaya's homicide, concealing a death, tampering with evidence, aggravated assault, aggravated battery, cruelty to a child, and falsely reporting a crime. They added a family violence charge on Thursday. Police have also arrested Nakaya's mother, Nicolette Pratt, charging her with child cruelty, concealing a death, obstruction of an officer, false statements, and being a party to a crime. A warrant for her arrest says she told investigators that police had previously shaken the baby. Local news outlets report. The warrant states investigators also found Pratt's story inconsistent. No lawyers are listed for either Pratt in court records. The infant was a twin, and his surviving sister has been placed in the custody of welfare authorities. More details could come out next month during preliminary hearings for the parents. That's awful. Another Emmanuel Haro. Right? My God. Abraham said, if that was my child, they would not be doing anything other than going to school, doing work, and reading books. No video games, no phone, no social media, no field trips for at least a year. Mm-hmm. That's the way you got to be. You know what I mean? This is one of those long ones. All right. So we'll read this one. The other one talks about a volunteer group joining the search for Jack and Lily. This one talks specifically about the car. We'll jump over here and watch this video, and then I will read the ad.
So the ideal solution is we locate them. So the ideal solution is we locate them. We got to find these kids.
For Nick Oldreeve of Please Bring Me Home, the goal of their involvement in the search for Lily and Jack Sullivan, who went missing on May 2nd from their home in Lansdowne Station, is to shake the tree.
You know, maybe it implores somebody to send in a tip if they know something, and, you know, or the search efforts continue and they're in those woods.
He says the nonprofit group has only been involved in the case for about 5 days, but adds the children's grandmother, Belinda Gray, had reached out to them back in May. Oldreeve says they've had success so far in getting more information out, circulating a statement on October 13th that they say is from Lily and Jack's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray. She writes, I will never stop searching for my children until they are found and brought home safe and sound. Someone somewhere knows something, so please bring my babies home. RCMP couldn't verify the accuracy of the statement circulating on social media, but know that Malaya Brooks Murray has confirmed authorship of a written statement. As for next steps, the organization is encouraging people to come forward with tips and are considering doing a search in November, adding it will most likely be a search of waterways in the area.
It's really difficult because we've seen everything be thrown at this area for searching. So, but it's just, it's an extra layer of precaution to make sure that they weren't underwater while searches were happening.
Nova Scotia RCMP told Global News they're aware Please Bring Me Home is planning an independent search, but add the initiative is separate from their own investigation. On October 8th, RCMP said they are still exploring all possible options in the search for Lily and Jack. Angela Capobianco, Global News, Halifax.
Okay, and we're going to jump over here and talk about the car that they heard that night. Witnesses describe hearing a vehicle the night before Nova Scotia children were reported missing. New details of witness statements and investigative avenues releasing a court document. Two people who live near the home of two Nova Scotia children who disappeared more than 5 months ago told police they heard a vehicle coming and going in the middle of the night just hours before Lily and Jack Sullivan were reported missing, court documents show. The new details from witnesses are laid out in redacted records that were previously released in August at the request of CBC News and other news agencies. On Friday, new details of the case were released after CBC News thought to have some redactions lifted. The documents contain court applications filed by investigators for permission to conduct searches for phone records, bank records, and video related to the case. They include unproven statements made by police. Lily 6 and Jack 4 were reported missing on the morning of May 2nd when police received a 911 call from their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray. She told police they had wandered away from their home in Lansdowne Station, a sparsely populated community about 140 kilometers northeast of Halifax. The siblings lived on the property with their mother, their stepfather, Daniel Martel, and the couple's 1-year-old daughter and Martel's mother. On May 9th, two constables had a conversation with Brad Wong, who lives near the home. He told them he heard a, quote, loud vehicle, unquote, coming and going from that area in the early morning hours of May 2nd. Quote, he said his residence is at an elevated position from Daniel's residence, and he could see a vehicle lights over the treetops, unquote, said RCMP member Corporal Curl in her written request to the court. Quote, he said the vehicle left 3 or 4 times after midnight and into the early hours of the morning. He said the vehicle would drive off in the distance and he could hear it stop and then return. He said it remained in earshot the entire time. Holy shit. Holy shit, Batman. That's not good. On May 17th, a constable took a statement from Justin Smith, who also lives in the area. Smith said he was awake and on Facebook during the early hours of May 2nd. Around 1:30 a.m., he heard a car on Highway 289 turn around by the railroad tracks near the area of Gerlach Road and Lansdowne Station. That intersection is near the home where the children went missing. Quote, it made a noise and then went quiet. The vehicle was quiet for about 2 minutes, then drove towards Berwick Road, unquote, the RCMP member wrote. Quote, Justin Smith later spoke with Brad Wong, who informed him Daniel's vehicle came and went 5 or 6 times that night, Wong said. The car Smith heard was Daniel. The records detail Martel's account of the evening before the children were reported missing. He told police that he went to bed, quote, fairly early and didn't wake up until it was light the next morning. The document said Brooks Murray told police she put Lily and Jack to bed first, then their 1-year-old daughter, and then went to bed herself around 9 p.m. She said Martel stayed up and was going to clean the house for her, but it wasn't clean when she got up, so she doesn't know what he did, unquote. Malaya said she was not woken up throughout the night and does not know when Daniel came to bed, unquote, the document said. In a phone interview Friday, Martel said no one from the family left the property that night and they did not have any visitors. He said the RCMP never asked him about a vehicle coming and going. Quote, I know the investigators work hard. They're exploring every lead, said Martel. Brooks Murray has not responded to interview requests. An investigator's comment in the same document said that as of July 16th, the children's disappearance was not believed to be criminal in nature. The RCMP declined a request for an interview Friday. The records also show that police interviewed one of Brooks Murray's relatives, Darren Geddes. Geddes is believed to have appeared on a YouTube crime show under the pseudonym Darwood O'Grady, where he put forward a theory of Malaya putting the children in a vehicle and sending them away before reporting them missing. It says Geddes noted his comments could be wrong, could be speculation. Darren Geddes has suggested in social media posts that Malaya may have been involved in their disappearance, but this is his theory. He also suggested he might know the location of the children, an RCMP investigator wrote. On May 30th, 2 RCMP members met with Geddes, who told them he spoke with Martel a few weeks after the kids went missing and also spoke with a person about the investigation. Quote, the constable said Geddes was confrontational and evasive to questions asked of him and wanted police to provide him with information about the investigation, unquote, the document said. Quote, he became upset when his questions were not answered. On June 26, Brooks Murray gave police a video recording of a phone conversation between her grandmother, Patty Pearson, and Geddes, who is Pearson's first cousin. The conversation was recorded on the evening of June 21st, and it's not clear if Geddes knew he was being recorded, but there appeared to be an exception of privacy, the document said. It's not clear from the records exactly what Peterson and Geddes said during the conversation. CBC News interviewed Darren Geddes on July 4th, and he shared similar theories. However, the information could not be verified. The children's disappearance in May sparked an extensive grid search that spanned 8.5 square kilometers of mostly dense woods and involved about 160 ground search and rescue volunteers, service dogs, drones, and helicopters. The mysterious nature of the case, fueled by a lack of answers, has garnered international attention. Last week, RCMP announced that cadaver dogs did not find human remains in searches conducted around the property and in areas of high probability in the community. In an interview, Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon reiterated that the case is still being investigated under the Missing Persons Act and is not a criminal case. Holy crap. That's not good. I imagine Malaya can drive. I'm not sure. Right. Why is this information just now coming out? Because their age isn't much that can be done, but I hope the parents take this serious and place those kids in some sort of strict oversight. This is horrible, but we are also not going to. Yeah, that's when we wake up. I think that they were possibly doing substances all that night. It's like we can't believe anyone in this case, but how did they all pass lie detectors? Exactly, Julie. That's where I'm at. Holy shit. Right, Abellis. I agree. The RCMP dropped the ball and they should have gathered videos from huge areas starting long before that day. No, you're good. I've got to go anyway. Snarky Pants said, oh, wait a minute. Snarky Pants said, lying liars, all of them, different stories and no real timeline and no real sorrow for them. Right. All right, y'all, I'm going to go. I've got to record this video real quick and I need to go get my baby some popsicles or something cold for her throat. I love you all so very much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for the support. I will see you all tomorrow. Please know that you are all perfect. You are enough. You are special and you are loved. And make sure you come back tomorrow because we're actually starting to get into the night of the homicide. We might finally get some answers in Victoria Martens' case. Who the hell knows at this point? I'm going to record this video and put it out, and you guys can check it out again if you want to. I'm going to try to get it out. Yes, I need to go get her some popsicles. I do. Rosie said, sorry, back again. My grandson's girlfriend giving the definition attitude. I'm tired. I'm sleeping. I got to get ready for work. But works at 4 p.m., lives 5 minutes away from each other, and turns off her notifications. Oh, my God. All right, y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Have a good night. I'll read this article again and get it out for you guys, and you guys can let me know what you think in the comment section. This is holy crap. We'll talk about this tomorrow, and we'll finish the interrogation of the derivative immunity interview with Michele Martens. Until then, y'all stay safe. Have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you for the well wishes for my babies. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Love you. Bye.